Hello. Okay, there we go. I had the wrong microphone in OBS. So, it hasn't actually been that long since I've last streamed. I last streamed 5 days ago, so less than a week. But it was just a comp stream, which I need to lower this music a little bit. But the last stream we had was just a comp stream. So it's been almost 2 weeks since I did I've done VOD reviews, which is what we're gonna be doing today. We love Guten Tag. What's up, Wisdom? How are you doing? We're doing one of your VODs today. I think you're first. Like 700 kilometers away. What are you doing 700 kilometers away? That's a lot of kilometers. You're on holiday. Okay, okay. Are you enjoying holiday? How's that going? And how long are you there? For the year? Hell yeah. You miss Rivals though? Like, Rivals will be here though. Holiday is temporary. Break from stream Rivals? Yeah, yeah. Next Saturday? Okay. How long have you been there already? Like, 'cause next Saturday, that's... Venny, redeem first. Venny's first. Even though you're not actually first. Venny is first though. Officially. A week. And then you're for until next Saturday. So another week. Okay, 2 weeks. That's a pretty solid holiday. But I'm glad you're having fun. You're enjoying yourself. That's good. Having a good, a new environment and stuff is always nice to have occasionally to refresh from the normal day-to-day. Yeah, no, a 2 week holiday is nice, especially if you're doing stuff that you enjoy. How are you doing, Venny? Good morning. Get back yourself. Nah, dude. You'll get back into shape real quick. I mean, there is always rust, right? But like some people, like I'll get rusty after like not playing a game for like 2 days, 3 days. Like legit, like if I stop playing Rivals for like probably like 3 or 4 days, I'll have to like play some quick matches to like remember literally how to play the game. But it also depends on what else I'm doing, right? Like if I'm like busy with like real life stuff and I'm not playing the game, I actually don't get as rusty. But if I'm locked in on a different game, like if I started playing League of Legends, and I, you know, took like a 5-day break from Rivals and was like grinding League, but I was still like playing a game, but I just wasn't thinking about Rivals, I would be so rusty. It would be crazy. But yeah, if you're just doing other stuff, like at least for me, I feel like if I'm doing like other stuff and like, you know, IRL stuff, I'm just not playing any games, I pick up the last game I played a little easier than if I was like spending that same amount of time playing something else and like thinking about other stuff. Like if I was playing like Valorant instead, right? I would like go back to Rivals after like 5 days and be all like, holy shit, there's 6 people on a team. And I would like I'd be crouching, or like I'd be trying to crouch at least. It would be like stuff like that. It's just like, I would just straight up like forget how to play the game. I'd have to like relearn it. Hard coming from Fragpunk, yeah, Fragpunk similarly, where it's just like, yeah, like the controls are different, it's a different perspective, like a lot of stuff is different, and that makes it so it's like you're still doing something, but you're doing something like similar but adjacent, so it's like you have to relearn and re-get your bearings. But yeah, 2 weeks is a long time anyway, right? So it's like, even if you're not playing something else, like 2 weeks is a pretty long time to take a break, so you might need to do some de-rusting, but I believe in you. You got that. Move to Fragpunk for 6 months? Yeah. I haven't tried Fragpunk. I know a lot of... When I was playing Valorant, Fragpunk came out. And a lot of people, like, tried it out. I don't know if it... I don't want to say it flopped, but I feel like a lot of people, like, gave it a try, and then, like, within a few weeks or a month, they were, like, back on Valorant. But that might just be the people I was around. It's gonna be hard to get to Celestial to Eternity. What are you right now? Because in a week, that would mean you'd only have like 2 weeks left, or maybe 1 week left actually. I don't know how many days are left in the let's see. Celestial 2 or Celestial 3. I think Eternity's doable. Because in a week, yeah, you'd have 11 days. Yeah, I think it's doable. You'd have to like lock in and like have a pretty decent win rate, but I think it's definitely doable in like 10 days. I've been playing a decent amount of ranked myself. I actually checked this earlier. So I have 12 hours in comp this season. This is my second highest time played in a season. Officially. So since season 0, I put 26 hours in. That was like when I was getting my bearings for the game and just played comp. And then since then, I have not played more than, I think, 9. I think that's the highest. 8.6. Yeah. So since then, I have not played more than, not here, 9. So this is the most time I've put in a single season in comp. Do you want you can get the GM? Yeah, no, there's some games where I feel like I am getting low impact, but a lot of the time those games are because I'm not, let's see, so I'm at 70 RR here, but yeah, like this game, we won, but I got carried, and it's like I had low impact, but it felt like I just didn't even have the opportunity. I didn't ult this game. I literally didn't ult. Like I didn't have to. Like I just got like hard carry. Like we were just winning. And then there's some other games where I feel like, let's see. Wow, this is really close. I didn't even notice. Um, this was a close game. This was actually a well fought game. It was close. We had some miscommunication. Like it was like it came down to like the last fight, and like we messed up our communication on the last fight, and it just didn't work out. But realistically, this was a really close game. Like it was well fought. Yeah, I was on C and D for most of the game, and I switched to Loki. Um, so this guy, I asked if we could have a mag because I knew we were going into third point. We're going into third point. Is on Krakoa. So I was about to have Cloak and Dagger ult, and I know their mag had ult, so I asked if he could swap to mag, and he wasn't very confident on it, but he was willing to do it. And I didn't even get my bubble. I ulted in and I got mag meatballed. Exactly like I knew what would happen, but I didn't get my bubble. Their magic cooking, their magic played everything. I don't even know what they played most of the time. Not one bubble. No, he probably bubbled something. It's probably on cooldown when I ulted, but like the whole reason I wanted the mag was so he could bubble my ult. So yeah, it just didn't work out very well. He wasn't very confident. Like I probably shouldn't have made him do that. Like he was playing Thing. Like he probably could have just jumped to me and gave me the damage reduction, and that might have been enough. But it is what it is. We messed up a little bit, but it's all good. Um, this game, I'm trying to think what happened this game. This game was like it started off really bad. Um, yeah, this game started off really bad, and then we like locked in and started winning really hard. And then also they had like a penny that was just not really doing it. They start off like I think they start off on like solo healer. They had solo rocket. Yeah, this guy was solo healing for a little bit. It was ridiculous. What happened this game? This game this game was kind of frustrating, but yeah. We were kind of getting stomped at first, and then we had to switch to triple healer, and it worked out. But I mean, overall, it was okay. But yeah, like a lot of these games, I don't feel like I am struggling. The only games that I feel like I'm struggling are, um, this game I kind of, actually no, I'm gonna be real. I didn't even feel like I was struggling this game. I made 2 really crucial mistakes and died for them, and that was like actually just like straight up like legit like miss input type stuff. Like I was playing Hulk, so I was holding spacebar, and I accidentally let go of it, jump in their team and die. Like it's one of the things where it's like I just fucking my finger slipped. But like even like I didn't have to. I could have been AFK this game and we would have still won. Triple healer meta, yeah. So actually, something interesting about that is I don't hate triple healer meta. I mean, I don't like it. I don't hate it though, and I actually like it more now than it was before. Um, because before the triple healer meta, well, okay, well the original triple healer that started in Rivals when it was like season 1 or 1.5, when it was just like legit toxic triple healer, where it's like you'd play Cloak and Dagger, Invis and Luna, or like a Cloak and Dagger, Luna Loki, like shit like that. That was annoying. Like that was terrible. However, I think the triple healer comps that have like been that here since then have been a little more healthy. It the reason why you'd really want a triple healer a lot of the time is because you're trying to run an offensive healer. So a lot of times it's been Ultron, where it's like Ultron or Mantis, where you like you can't dual heal them because they don't give enough healing. So you just throw the third one in, and then you have more than enough healing, but you don't sacrifice that much damage because they do a lot of damage themselves. Or you're playing res comp, which is gone now. But I think now we're in a little bit of a healthier position because we have 3 viable off healers. The only thing that's annoying is that they require triple healer, right? Um, but I think it's healthier than before, where it's like the only triple healer comps were Ultron comps and res comp, right? And then obviously before then it was like super toxic triple heal. We don't care about that. But like now you can triple heal. You can have Adam in there. You can have Mantis in there. You can have Adam and Mantis in there. Like you can do like a bunch of like fluid stuff. And I feel like there's more flexibility with triple healer. Still not a huge fan of triple healer, but I don't mind it as much right now. Um, Mantis needs 3 support. Jeff, yeah. So Jeff is the exception because Jeff isn't really an off healer. Like he doesn't do like a ton of damage. Like Adam, Mantis, and Ultron do like they're basically DPSs that can heal, right? Jeff doesn't do that much damage, but he also doesn't really do that much healing, and he doesn't have a support ult. So it's like Jeff can work, but he requires triple healing, not because he's an offensive healer and doesn't apply enough healing. He requires triple healing because he just leaves too many gaps in the team, right? So you're giving up a support ult as well as a I mean a big part of it is the ult, to be honest, but his pocket healing is decent, but he doesn't have like burst healing. It's just like a straight amount. But he's got a lot of merit, right? He's got like the bubble for buff. He's got good range, and he's pretty hard to dive a lot of the times. The biggest issue with Jeff in duo heals is that when he ults, you lose a heal. So you not only lose a healer while he's underground, it's hard to get value from, and he kind of demands a lot of support to get away with it, right? So it's like you ult in, you need like a mag bubble, you need a pocket heal, you need something to protect you while you're ulting, or else you're just inting. And if you accidentally swallow your team, it's basically you root ulting your team because once they kill the Jeff, then your whole team is just right there on top of each other. Like it's one of the things where it's like he takes a lot of coordination to make work, and generally it's just not worth it for the payoff that you're gonna get. Like yeah, like it's just generally Jeff just takes so much support just to be like decent at best. Um, Adam, Luna, Loki. Yeah, so that's actually something I've been liking a lot. So Adam, Luna, that team up paired with either Loki or like Cloak and Dagger or even like Invis. Like anything. So the thing about Adam is that now Adam actually does a lot of healing. Like over the course of a game, like I feel like his average healing has gone up quite a. Actually, I could check my stats. I wonder, because I feel like I heal way more on Adam. Let's just go all modes. So let's look. So Adam healing right here. 15.4k this season, and then like if we just look at like last season, where is that? Okay, well I have 39 minutes, but like 10k. Granted, they're just like red like set. Okay, well this was crazy. I don't know what the fuck I was on. Um, maybe not then. I don't know. Where the hell is that? Did I not play Adam this season, or am I? Did I miss? Oh, he's right here. 15k. Okay, so maybe not. But I do feel like he feels a lot smoother to play. He unironically feels way more like he doesn't feel clunky as nearly as much. So on drugs on 2.5. I don't know what the hell is going on. But I was pocketing on Adam apparently. But the buff they gave him was really nice. To be quite honest. But yeah, like the thing about Adam is that he doesn't provide a support ult. And while that's not like the end of the world, like don't get me wrong, I feel like I'm kind of making it sound like if you don't have 2 support ults, then you just lose. It's not the case. but it makes it a lot easier to play, especially in competitive, right? So like the game is way different when you're playing in like a tournament or versus like competitive, which is why I think characters like Jeff and Adam and Mantis and Ultron are way better in competitive scenario. Maybe not Ultron, because Ultron is pretty good in ranked. But I think those pocket healers and do way better in competitive because you can cover up for your teammates' mistakes. You don't rely on them knowing how to position well. So it's like in a competitive scenario, or like in a constructed scenario where you're in like a tournament, I think you can probably get away with dual healing Mantis in some scenarios, but I think that it's way harder in a ranked game. Granted, it depends on the rank. I feel like when you're really high rank, like top 500, you can get away doing stuff like that because players kind of understand like the difference in team comp makes you have to play different. But yeah, I think overall just a big part of ranking up in competitive is making the game easier for your team so they have less responsibility. His buff is huge, and the healing recovery buff is just crazy. Like I think Adam feels so good right now. No, like Adam actually just feels so good right now. I'm gonna watch the Xbox, I won't be able to respond to his message. Okay, sounds good. And also, hello, Pika. But yeah, no, I like the diversity of triple support comps right now. The only issue is that it's so hard to coordinate in comp a lot of the time. Like, realistic, okay, right now, okay, to keep it real, right now, I would play triple support every single game if we had people willing to do it. I think that it is the most comfortable comp to run, at least to start off with, and like just generally. I think having a triple support comp in pretty much any way, whether it's running a third support as Adam or Mantis or Ultron, I think all of those feel very comfortable to play. The only issue is that I would prefer to do it with two tanks, right? So it's like I would like to run 2-1-3, but if you run triple support, a lot of times you're going to be solo tanking, and then it's just like I would rather run 2-2-2 at that point. Which is like, I'm not against solo tanking with like if I have to solo tank with triple support, I'm not super dreading it. But I would much prefer to have a 2-1-3 and have the solo DPS, because I think the strong DPSs are way too strong right now. I think that's kind of the takeaway. I think the Phoenix, Torch, even Punisher, Hela, like all those that are capable of solo DPSing, even like Namor and Bucky fall under there, where it's like they're all so strong that they can solo DPS really comfortably. And it's unfortunate because DPS is by far the most popular role, but it's also the worst role to stack and the best role to have solo. 1 tank, 3 sub, 2 DPS, and DPS force support. Yeah. So the thing about that is that solo tank gets like, so when you're duo tanking, there are like some characters or strategies that really like that they can still like, you know, mess with you, but tanks very often will be able to look out for each other, or they do other things that make the other tank have less pressure. For example, if I'm playing Groot, if I'm solo tanking and they have like a Bucky or a Wolverine or a Torch or a Punisher or a fucking, like, even Invis can fuck with you. Like, if I'm solo tanking, that's all a problem. If I have a Mag or an Emma on my team, almost all of that just becomes like a non-issue. Like Bucky and Wolverine can still be kind of annoying, but it's like a lot of times having that second tank means that if I'm getting pressured too hard, I can push some of that pressure off to my other tank. And also, it makes it so if I die, my team is not without a tank, right? And also, if I'm playing Groot or Mag or Emma, I do like more damage than like a lot of the DPSs in the game. So it's like we're not losing out on damage. The only reason why we would have 3 DPS over a second tank, or yeah, the only reason why we'd have 2 DPS over a second tank is because of comfort, realistically. Like, I feel like it's just objectively more viable to have the second tank over the second DPS unless you're running a specific comp. Like, unless you have a specific, and I actually talked about this in Discord, where like I've been testing out like the specific comp where you'd run like the Mantis team up with Loki and you'd run triple healer and you'd have solo tank Groot. But even that, it's like it might just be better to run a second tank. But I think the issue. So yeah, no, it's one of the reasons why I would much prefer to play in like a tournament setting where like, you know, the teams are not just randoms, you know, like just not random people. Because I feel like playing the game in a more constructed comp where you don't have to play around the fact that like you're gonna have an extra DPS no matter what comp you roll or run. I feel like that's I think the VOD is Moon Knight. Yeah, I got it. It was the Moon Knight Emma on, I think, Arakko. That's the one I have. He actually submitted it for more for the Emma, so I'm gonna try and focus a little more on that. I mean, if there's a lot of Moon Knight, I'll probably comment on it, but it's like, we'll just take a look at it. What the comp came up with, I don't even remember what I'm not gonna lie. Oh, it was, wait. I actually just unironically do not remember the comp I was talking about. I've been trying to practice a lot of things with the Groot Mantis team up. But I think I've come to the conclusion that I much prefer it in a triple healer. But yeah, I've been trying to cook a lot with Groot because I feel like if I have a good Mantis on my team and we have triple healer, I'm still like at this. It's like the thing is, I'm kind of mag pilled right now. Like I feel like mag just feels so convenient to have on your team, and he feels so good to play. It's just like if I'm playing Groot, I want to have a mag. I want somebody else to be on mag, and if I'm not, and if we don't have a mag, I want to be a mag. Like I just want a mag on every team. Like he's just so fucking good. But yeah, like I think the Groot team up feels really good. I don't think it's like insane. I think the Loki part of the team up is actually better. But I think the wall is really nice for a couple of reasons. Because one, you have another wall in case you need to like emergency block something off. But it's also really nice just for the healing and especially the ult charge because it doesn't do like a ton of healing to make it like, you know, meaningful healing. It does enough that it's like, you know, you have some regen. It's kind of like the equivalent of having like a Mantis heal, to be honest. So it's like nice, but building your ult charge feels so good that you just get like just passive ult charge from having that wall down. Loki's totem range, yeah, no, Loki's range is so big. The fact that it gives you such a big damage boost is crazy. Like, it's just like I don't know what they were thinking by that. Like that's crazy. Like they took one of the best abilities in the game and just made it better. Like that's crazy. But yeah, like I've been trying to cook with that team comp with like just the full Groot, Mantis, Loki, but then I think you ideally want another healer. So you'd probably run Luna. And my thought is that you'd run Luna. So you'd have Luna, Loki, and then you just have Mantis on top with the Groot. And then you run Phoenix as your DPS, and then you probably just run Mag or Emma, to be quite honest. You get the benefit of... So, first of all, Phoenix can combo with Groot ult without even, like, an ult or anything. Like, if you Groot ult, like, an entire team, put a wall behind them, and Phoenix just, like, literally melees them. Like, honestly, if she just goes up and starts meleeing them, she can just, like, murder them. To the point where she could just kill through support ults, potentially. So that's one thing. And then you have the Phoenix Luna damage boost, or the Phoenix Mag combo. So you have like a lot of combo synergy with ultimates in this comp. And then you just have like really frequent Groot ults. Like you have really frequent Groot ults. Everyone gets damage boost. Phoenix does really well with a Mantis damage boost. It's just a lot. I really want, like, the thing is I don't know. a lot of people that play all those characters. So it's like I haven't really been able to test that entire comp, especially Phoenix. I don't really know any like really good Phoenix player. Like, don't get me wrong, like I know some people that are like decent at Phoenix, but like I think if you're gonna play solo duelist, you need to be like cracked at the character, like maining the character. You can't. Oh. Yeah, it's funny because Phoenix, like the existence of Phoenix makes it so it's like, it is so hard to play like some character, like Penny and Rocket just are so hard to play just because Phoenix exists. I think Phoenix is really good. Magic solo DPS can work if they get picks on support. The thing about Magic solo duelist is Magic has a couple of gaps in what she can handle. Like if they play like a Torch comp, which I mean obviously if Torch is banned, that's fine, but like they can pretty much any flyer with decent survivability is a problem for Magic. Like Magic can deal with flyers, but not consistently. Like the reason why I bring up Torch is because like if you give Torch a team up and like a Snowflake, you're just never killing him as Magic. Like he's way too tanky to kill as Magic. Like killing flyers as Magic relies on like hitting that one shot combo, and if you can't hit that, then they just like get healed back to full, and then you just do it again. But yeah, Torch is just really hard to deal with. But then even if Torch is banned, you have stuff like what's it called, Ultron, which naturally does well against Magic even if he wasn't a flyer, but on the top of the fact that he's a flyer, it makes it so he's so hard to kill. On Torch, they think they're safe. Yeah, well, the thing is, Torch requires enabling. The reason why Torch is good is not because he's just, like, crazy on his own. The reason he's good is that he's really good when enabled. Like, I think Torch is the best duelist in the game by far when he's fully enabled. So you give him Luna Snowflake, you give him the Invis team up, you pair him with other things that take off pressure from him, or you give him like a Mantis on top, like shit like that, where you just like make the Torch the raid boss, and then it's like you just can't take him out as Magic, right? Because if you get a really good pick, and like a good combo, yeah, you can one shot him. But a lot of times, like he can slam, pop his team up, and he's like getting healing, and it's like a lot of times it puts you in a bad position with no resources when he just gets away, and then by the time you can get in position to do it again, he has his stuff back. But like if they're not enabled, or if they just have like one of those parts, yeah, I think he can be like, you can deal with him as Magic sometimes, but I don't think you can do it consistently enough to make Magic viable into it like as a solo duelist. But the thing is, Torch is like pick ban, so it's like if you don't have a Torch player, you need to just ban Torch, because he can just carry the lobby if he is enabled properly. But there's also some other issues with Magic that I feel like she gets countered too hard by certain things, and then you have to switch to a different duelist if you're gonna play solo. There's kind of a like, I could just look at the list. There's only so many duelists that I think are viable solo duelists, and the key thing that you're probably gonna notice is that they're all like good. Like I think so for viable solo duelists, probably Punisher, maybe Storm. Storm is like a maybe. She's on the edge. I'm gonna lean towards no, but it's possible. Hela's a viable solo duelist. Loki, I think Widow might be a viable solo duelist, unironically. But you have to have tanks that do a lot of damage, so you have to run it with like a Groot or something. Groot Mag, Groot Emma. Namor, Bucky, Star-Lord can be a solo duelist. Iron Man can be a solo duelist. Psylocke, Torch, and Phoenix. And I think that's pretty much all of them. Game's gone. Well, the thing is, okay, so Widow, the only reason I say she could be a solo duelist is if you have a really good Widow, she is like a problem. Like I haven't really experienced this myself as much, but if you watch like a top 500 like Widow one tricks, there's like one of them or whatever, and like they just duo with a Mantis, and now that Mantis is like super good and like very viable, very often played, if they're hitting headshot, they just like there's no counterplay. Your supports just aren't allowed to peek. Like it's just like, okay, what can I do? You're like once if I can just die at any second, it's like what can I do? It was like peak Hawkeye. It's just really like it's game breakingly bad how strong Widow can be if fully enabled and if she's like super good. Granted, I don't think that makes her like a good character. I just think that in the perfect circumstances, she's like actually problematically impactful. Season 0 Hawkeye, yeah. Yeah, like it was it kind of, yeah. The thing is Widow's hit scan. Like Hawkeye gets like there's a lot of things with Hawkeye that he actually like runs into problems with. So for example, like Hawkeye having a projectile, even though it's a fast projectile, he gets kind of blocked by first of all really far away targets because he needs that charge. So Widow has no range, like no range requirement. But Hawkeye, if you're too far away, you don't get this like I can't one shot this guy. Okay, well I can't even hit him. But yeah, like if I'm looking at the well, let me get far away. Like this, I can't even one shot because I don't have my charge, right? So Widow has better range. And also Hawkeye kind of gets shit on by like certain mechanic. Like if Strange is like doing this, a lot of times it just eats your arrows. Whereas like Widow can just wait for the flicker and like once it's dropped, like instantly pop. It's like it's one of those things where it's like you don't get blocked by the fact that it has a little bit of travel. It's way harder to block a Widow shot than a Hawkeye shot. You just have to hold the shield up. Hawkeye can counter some ults, yeah. But so can Widow if she has a Mantis boost, right? She can kill Cloak and Dagger. She can kill Invis. She can kill. Well, actually, she can't kill Luna. Oh wait, no, she shouldn't be able to kill like Luna, Invis, but she can kill Cloak and Dagger. She kills Rocket one shot. Maybe not with his shield, but like, it's like Widow when fully enabled actually just does more than Hawkeye, because Hawkeye like I think without enabling, I think Hawkeye's probably better than Widow a little bit, but when you have like a Mantis and you have like Peel and maybe you have like I don't know other factors that are making shots easier or making it so you don't get pressured as hard, Widow can just run lobbies. Like this character is kind of fucked up when she's doing well. Also she's hard to dive. Because like you have to like send like a tanky diver or multiple divers. Because she just like Black Panther, well, like if you send like a Black Panther, she can just combo him and she might just win that 1v1. Like a lot of times I think she does win that 1v1. Because it's not hard to do like the kick shot. Oh, well, okay. Maybe it is hard. I don't fuck. Maybe I'm just bad. But like being able to just kick, shoot, grapple, shoot. Wow. Okay. But you get the point. A lot of times if she catches him with a kick, she actually wins the 1v1. Yeah, I think this character, like, I'm glad she's not really good, because if she was really good, this game would fucking feel like terrible. Like Widow meta is not like, if they let her one shot, this game just automatically becomes way less fun. Widow meta, yeah, no, I honestly think that like if Widow was like good, like if she was S tier, like, you know, like running the game, that would be one of the least fun metas. Because like there's some characters that are just, if they were better, they would be really unfun. So think about like Penny, right? Like if Penny was like the best character in the game, the best tank in the game, this game would suck. Like I'm glad Penny is not good because her kit is just not fun. At least to play against. She's fun to play, but she's not fun to play against, and I think a lot of people would legitimately just sit out that season if Penny was like super meta. Like some people are like sitting out like the Black Panther. Straight up because it's just like they just don't want to deal Black Panther, so it's just like it's not fun to play against. Penny can be amazing, but yeah, I think Penny's pretty decent in some situations. Really bad in a lot more situations. But like I think she has some use cases. There's some other character, like I think Wanda meta would be terrible. I think that that character should not be good. I think there is. I'm glad that she exists. I think she might need, like, I think honestly, I think Wanda's like in a decent spot because I think a character that is meant to be a like introduction to like playing duelist, uh, and doesn't have that much skill expression. Don't get me wrong, you can be good at Wanda, but I feel like a character like that where the skill expression, especially the mechanical skill expression, is relatively low, I feel like it's proper for her to not be super good at the peak. Um, it's just if a bad player can play almost as good as a good player, I don't like that concept. Wanda's fine right now. She is for like noobs. Yeah, like she's approachable because she's easy to play. Um, and she doesn't have a ton of room for improvement. Like you can be good at her. Don't get me wrong. Like every single character has skill expression, but when you think about the difference between a bad Wanda and a good Wanda, it doesn't look as different as the difference between like a bad Hela and a good Hela, right? Um, it's one of those things where you have to be really careful because if you make easy characters really good, then all of a sudden like it's just not fun because it's like, oh, I'm top 500 on Wanda, but it's like this guy who's in gold playing Wanda, like his gameplay just looks the same. Didn't even pop up the middle finger. Yeah, I don't know why that. I don't know what the actual tag for the emote is, or if that's even on Twitch. I didn't even talk about the topic. It's been 40 minutes and we haven't even talked about the topic of improvement. I don't even know if I want to talk about it. I'm just yapping. It ain't on Twitch. You get it for it. Yeah. So the way he typed it with like the colons, you can do that on Twitch. Maybe it's better Twitch TV that does that. But like if I type in like, what, like if I type in colon what clock, let's see clock. Yeah, it shows up with the clock emoji. Mantle place clock. But yeah, you could also just use the regular emoji. It's different. The one, if you use the colons, it'll just show up like a Twitch integrated like one or whatever, but it's not the actual emoji code or whatever that would be in the same as if you posted on your phone. Realize 2-second delay. Yeah, I mean there's gonna be a little bit of delay. 2 seconds is not bad actually. Usually I'd expect closer to like I'd probably like expect like a 5-second delay on an average Twitch stream. But 2 seconds is actually not bad. Yeah, I'm in the US. So I don't think so. As far as I know, I don't think it is based on where I am. Like it's not our distance that determines the delay. It is based on how far I am from the nearest Twitch server and where you are from the nearest Twitch server to you. As far as I know. So if you were far away from the nearest Twitch server to you, you'd have more delay, I think. Or if I was. Yeah, I mean, Twitch is huge, so I'm sure there's servers everywhere. But yeah, I think it like uploads, it streams to Twitch itself, and then the delay would be determined by how fast that you can pull that information from the server closest to you. Like it doesn't go directly from my server to you. You don't want to talk about improving the me VOD time? Maybe. Maybe. I think, yeah, I'm just gonna... We're gonna scrap the topic today. We're scrapping out changing title. I will do this at a future time, but I feel like it's kind of a very vague topic. So I kind of just want to yap about it for a long time, but I'm already 40 minutes deep, so I think that'd be too much time. So I'll save it for another time. But it is something worth talking about because I feel like a lot of people think about improving incorrectly, and I think it actually, even though they're serious about improving, it halts their their ability to improve because they're thinking about the actual process of doing it wrong. And you see it in everything. It's not just gaming. Like you see it in like literally anything that requires improvement or effort towards getting a goal. So like sports or losing weight or you know, getting money, like stuff like that. It's just like I think a lot of people fail to see what's actually going to help them in the long run. What's going on in chat? So I have 3 VODs set up right now. I'm only going to plan for 2, and then, you know, as always, if I have extra energy after the second, I will just do a third. It's actually your guys'. So we're gonna start with Wisdom's VOD, and then the one Pika just submitted this morning, and then if we have extra time and energy, we'll do Venny's VOD. And that's the plan. Better than Pika. If you're actually curious about the order, it's because Wisdom's VOD is the oldest, but Venny's VOD is older than Pika's, but I did Venny's VOD last stream, so I want to do Pika's first. That way I'm not just doing Venny's back to back and then leaving Pika to wait again. So I think that's more fair. VOD is Unk. I don't remember when it was. Yeah, so you have another. It's not the. There was a VOD that you like 3 weeks ago. It's not that one. It is the more recent one. I think it was when you were saying that you were like on your rank up game to Celestial. It is still kind of a little old, but yeah. If getting competent teammates means you're better. What the hell is this? This character sucks. What? Wait, is he BMing? It looked like he was like teabagging the body. I'm actually pretty close to Grandmaster, which actually would be my peak. If I hit GM, I've actually that's my peak so far. Because I in season 0 I was Diamond 1, and that was where I stopped, and that was the highest rank I've been. So once I hit GM, that's actually my peak. Fun fact. But I'm still at a point. So I have reached. The thing is, I have noticed the entire range, not the entire range, but most of the range of when like player skill on my climb so far. It's been, what was I gonna say? Like in gold, so through gold through like plat. Well, I don't remember if I started silver, but whatever it was, wherever I started through like plat, it was basically like MVP, SVP, like 50% of games. It was just like, it was kind of stomp worthy. Like it was just not balanced because I was kind of above a lot of the people at that rank. And then going into like diamonds, I stopped getting like all the MVPs, and it was more like what you'd kind of expect. Like I definitely am playing with better people, that it's not like I'm hard carrying. And better opponents as well. So there is like a noticeable difference in playing. And also the coordination has been way better overall. At least when it is more likely that people are able to pull out or to follow through with plans. So for example, if I ask for a mag bubble in gold, there's like a 30%, no, there's like a 20% chance that I'm getting it. if I ask for a mag bubble in diamond, there's like a 70% chance, or like either like a 70% chance that I get either a bubble or a response, right? Like either a bubble or a it's on cooldown. At least people understand the assignment in diamond. Um, it feels like below diamond and even like plat, especially like gold and below, it's just you cannot rely on your team to do even the simplest of things. Like it kind of felt like if I didn't do it myself, it was not gonna get done. So if I wasn't healing, we had no healing. If I wasn't tank, we had no tank. And it does not feel that way in diamond. Which means that I'm getting closer to my like actual rank, where it's like I'm gonna start struggling pretty soon. So like I don't doubt my ability to get to GM. I think I might struggle a little bit in GM. I don't think getting to Celestial is that far-fetched, but I do think it would be a little bit of a grind. And as of right now, my current skill level, I don't feel like super confident in just, stomping my way through GM. I think I'm going to struggle a little bit in GM getting to Celestial, but I think I could do it. And then I think to get to Eternity at the rate that people are getting better in my games, I feel like getting to Eternity I would have to work on improvement. Like right now, if I was in a Celestial lobby and I held my own, I wouldn't be that surprised. You can get Celestial. Yeah, like I'm not too worried about Celestial. I think Eternity is, I would definitely need to work on improvement, work on my mechanics, and like practice myself. But like right now, I think I could probably hold my own in a Celestial lobby. But I would have to play a lot. Like I don't think it would be a fast climb, to be honest. Like I think I would probably maintain, I'm gonna get, like there's just all guessing, but I would probably expect myself to maintain around like a 50% win rate in GM. Maybe like a little higher, like a 52, which would be climbing, but not fast. Like I don't, if I do hit Celestial, I don't think it's gonna be in this season. 1% chance in bronze. Yeah, no, 1%. The thing in bronze, like, no, the thing is, I don't even know. Like, you can check every game. I always check if there's comms, like who has their mic enabled. You can have 5 people with their mic enabled in bronze, and nobody's listening. I don't even know what happens. Like, I actually just don't know. You want to be our coach? Maybe. I kind of like what I'm doing right now, especially because I don't know my time thing. But honestly, if I got into like formal coaching for like an actual like a team and like sort of like was more privatized, I wouldn't be against that in the future. But I kind of like what I have going right now, where I can sort of help a wide variety of people more. From bronze to diamond, you should get DPS and get kills. Actually, I disagree. If you're really good at DPS, yeah, you can do that. But I do think that ranking up, I think if your goal is to rank up, the most important, and I've thought about this for a while now, and I'm like, do I actually believe this truly? I think I do. I think the most important skill to have if you want to rank up fast is flexibility. And that's kind of what I did, right? Whereas like in low ranks, I think, okay, so if you're basically like, I don't want to say smurfing, but like if you know you're better than bronze, right? Like you come from another game, but like you start off in bronze. There's no placement matches, but like you're pretty good at Valorant. You're maybe like Ascendant or whatever. Like you're pretty good. I think you should pick up an off healer. You play Atom or Mantis or Ultron. If you have enough game sense, you're probably going to out heal bronze healers that are playing Luna, and you can carry the DPS as well. If your team has no tank, then tough luck. But I think realistically, being flexible and being able to carry the mandatory roles, which is at the lowest level healer. If you're a really good off strategist, you can just climb really easily if you are in fact better than your rank. Yeah, or being insane, or you just lock in Black Panther and drop 40 kills. Like, the fuck is that emote? That's a bronze logo. Here all day, do Pika first. Okay, I could do Pika first. If that's chill with you. Yeah, I'll do Pika first and then I'll You wisdom than Venny. Never seen a bronze logo in my life. That's a lie. That's a lie. You saw a bronze logo for like 6 games. 6 games. Because you start in bronze 3, and you get 50 RR for each one. So that was the last time you saw bronze. Day 1 when the game came out. You were a beta tester. Crazy. How are you doing, Hoyo? Placement matches and got GM1. Damn, okay. I'm also trying to lower my sense. 'Cause I noticed that let me just go hello here. So actually this is fine. I've been trying to track like the bots and like getting more precise. So my sense right now 0.85. I was playing at 2 for the longest time, but I realized that like when I'm playing DPS, specifically Hela and Phoenix, it is very difficult to have micro adjustments, especially if I go further away, like even further. So if I like go like up here, like tracking this bot was getting kind of difficult, and I do plan on lowering it even more. I want to do it slowly because I was struggling to do stuff like that. Maybe from a different angle here. But I was struggling to track like bots like this, or like characters. I mean, obviously characters move faster than this normally. Like even here, you can see that I'm kind of struggling. My aim is a little stuttery, even though that would do the trick on this bot. If I was tracking a torch, that wouldn't do the trick. Fable placements, yeah. No, Hoyo is good. But yeah, I plan on lowering my sense probably to like 1.7 or maybe 1.6. I think that's my end goal. And I've been lowering it by a little bit each time I play. That way I don't have to like jump really hard. Because like if I just go like 1.6 right here, it feels really weird to like go from this and it's like super slow. But it does help my tracking once I get used to it. But I mean, this even looks better like not used to it. 369. 360. I don't actually know the metric for like I don't even know like is that high or low sense for a controller? 1.85? How much DPI? I'm using 800. Wait, so this is your exact sense? Damn, okay. I want to lower it even further. The thing is, a lot of times, so like if I'm playing Groot, like a lot of times you're like running up on people and you have to like they get behind you and doing like 180s and stuff. Like if they do this and I'm like trying to hit like this, like they're all over me sometimes. So I don't need that precise aiming. I need the ability to flick. Fragpunk called Zim 500 times. Fragpunk was on console? I didn't even know Fragpunk was on console. Why did they buff this character, by the way? Like, why'd they let him do this? Like, whose idea was that? Just give him more range. Meant nothing because yeah, that is that do be a big downside of being good at a game, especially a game that's not like insanely popular. But even like the queues in this game, like if you queue at like middle of the night hours in top 500, like you just straight up get like fucking like if you're only queuing one server, like if you only want to play on Dallas, it's like straight up like you can get like 30, 40 minute queue times. 40 might be stretching it. Like it's probably closer to like 20, but I've seen 25-minute queue times. It's really bad, especially if you have like people avoided. Be back in 1 hour or two. Okay. Yeah, that'll probably work out in your favor. I'll do Pika first, and then I mean VODs usually take like an hour to an hour and a half. So, if you're back in an hour, then you should be in time for yours. Sounds good, Wisdom. I'm almost done with my coffee. Which, I'm gonna be honest, I was yapping this entire time and I forgot I had coffee. So it's been sitting here for almost an hour. Like, I made coffee before the stream. And I didn't even touch it until, like, just now, and I just chugged, like, half of it. Yeah, I think I could get used to a lower sense, and I think it'll help me in the long run. I feel like, even though having a higher sense is, like, naturally more comfortable sometimes, I think lowering it's gonna, once I get used to it, it's gonna be better for me. Why is the raccoon barking? I don't know. I low-key kind of wanted to turn it off, but, I mean, it's alright. I don't hate it. It's one of the things, like, I like the little tail there. But you can turn that off if you don't like it. Actually, wait, you know what? I don't know what, I just got the Emma one. I don't actually know what it does. Oh, that's cute! Of course you're looking at a tail. I mean, I like the little ringtail. It's cute. Oh, look at Jeff! I've been yapping for 40. I'll just... yeah, the thing is, the original plan, like... I was probably going to wind up yapping about that topic for a solid, like, hour. Maybe, like, 45 minutes. But it's, like, one of the things is, like, if it's already, keeps talking for 20 more minutes, yeah, no, I'm just chilling. I mean, usually the VODs start, like, about an hour into the stream anyway. So, I didn't have enough time to talk about a topic, but I'm down to yap a little bit more. Be patient. I need to get my bearings. Yapping VOD? Yeah, sometimes it is. We do a little yapping. But we are going to start VOD reviews in just a second. Got a grand total of 0 comp VODs for you. Have you not been playing comp? Or not been playing at all? What? I know you've been busy. I know you work a lot. I remember you saying that you've been working like a ton. So, I mean, I respect that. Can't have patience with time ticking out before I go. I mean, there will be a VOD. Of the VOD? Alright, we'll start now. Don't worry. We'll start now. So, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer because I'm gonna take a break before I do this. I'm gonna take like a 2-3 minute break to stretch my legs and hydrate and go to the bathroom. But we're gonna pull it up. Here we go. So we have Arakko, Genji, Magic over Genji. Okay, interesting name. That's funny. Yeah. So we play Moon Knight and Emma. And you did say that you didn't have an only Emma game, but this is fine. And you want to wait. Let me. Wondering if Emma so much continue playing or drop. Okay, we can talk about that. I think in general, I'm going to probably wind up saying that you should continue playing Emma. I think she's a very good character to have in your arsenal. And even if you aren't very good with her, which I think you're probably fine with her, but even if you weren't, I think getting better at her is a very valuable thing to have because having an Emma player on your team changes a lot. Like it's one of those things where if you don't have a single player on your team who can even flex to Emma, you are very pressed to ban her because a lot of times Emma can just she limits what the enemy team can play a lot. So if they know that you don't run an Emma, they're allowed to run things like Hulk and Venom and Thor, which Grand Thor is not great, but like they can run stuff like that. Fantastic even, which also not great, but way better when there's not an Emma available. Um, so it's one of the things where it's like it makes it feel like if you don't have somebody who can play Emma, you're probably gonna want to keep it banned all the time because that way it's not a one-sided restriction. But we'll see. I'm gonna take a quick like 5 minute break. I'm gonna down this coffee. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna stretch my legs. We're gonna get into this VOD. So you're gonna have to wait like 5 more minutes, Pika. Don't worry, I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Um, Let me make sure I have everything in order. don't know how I want to do this notes, because so before I get into this, I want to just talk about how the logging system that I have. So I made the spreadsheet public for all of the VODs that I am doing since the beginning of August, and like for every VOD forward, there it is now public, including a link to the VOD on YouTube, which should be timestamped. And then I have individual notes for each VOD that I do, and those are something that I haven't until this point made it really public, but it's basically just a summary of what I've been like, what I say while I go over it. But some people like having it in a more written, and some are way longer than others. So take it with a grain of salt. But if you are interested in having the write up, then it is now available to you. Yeah, that's it. But I with that, I would prefer to be able to take the notes live, because up until this point, I've been taking the notes. I've been going over after the stream, taking the notes off of memory and like rewatching it if I needed to remember what I was saying. But it would be easier if I took it live. But I'm gonna continue doing it how I've been doing it for today, and I'll see if there's a better way of me writing the notes down as I go. It hasn't been that much of a problem at this point, so we'll see. But I'll figure that out off stream. All right, so we're looking at Pika's VOD. So we are playing Moon Knight and Emma Frost on Arakko. So looking at these stats, like it is looking, I don't want to say like a one-sided game. It's kind of one-sided, but it doesn't look as one, like it feels like this can be deceptively one-sided. Like, yes, we have a lot more final hits, but the game's 14 minutes. So clearly there's some amount of competitiveness here. So we'll see why the game looks like this stat-wise, and if it was actually one-sided or not. But I mean, our stats look pretty good, so we'll see how we do that. So let's just go into it. I don't know how long you're on Moon Knight, but I think we've talked about Moon Knight a decent amount. And you did specifically talk about Emma when you submitted this, so I'm going to try and focus on it a little more, but we'll just look at it from the top and see where we're going. Let me know if the audio balance is fine. I'm going to keep the music going. If the music is too loud or if it's annoyingly quiet, I can turn it off entirely. I can raise the volume. Or if the game is too loud or anything, just let me know. Something I've noticed in the VODs that I've been looking at, and I know this is like in the middle of the VOD, but something I've noticed is when I'm going over is that I tend to be talking quite loud and aggressively sometimes. So I'm going to try and keep my voice a little more demure. But we'll see. I'm going to try my best. Moon Knight has so many buttons. Okay, where's our setup here? We're just setting up. Okay. Setting up on pretty much the normal high ground. Okay, interesting retreat. We kind of gave up this position really quickly, like as a team. Taking cover here. You have nobody who can heal you though. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was gonna say like nobody's paying attention to you, but you have a rocket. Oh, you actually missed that kill. Wait, let me rewatch it. Just, I think you actually could have gotten this kill pretty easily here, right there. Yeah. So you shot the Ankh instead of him, and he survives with like legit like 30 HP. But by shooting at the Ankh, the first hit that hits him is one bounce, and that's reduced damage. So if you shoot at Blade first, then you give him the direct damage instead of the first bounce damage. So I think he actually just dies there. Do you die for it? No, I think you're okay. Although I actually don't mind this positioning. You're kind of just posing a big threat to them. This cloak is about to make a huge mistake. Oh wait, why'd you throw a second onk? Whoa, okay, you're crazy. Okay, I don't actually hate this idea. If you could go around this side and get to the other side, that would have been sick, but you can't. Um, it would. I don't hate the idea though. Like honestly, like I probably would have like. Who knows that you can't go around that side? Like, you're gonna die if you don't try. So it was a valiant effort, valiant attempt. I think we just as a team just kind of just tossed that. So I'm gonna look at this as a team, and then I'm gonna look at this from your perspective specifically. Why did we lose that point so easily? Like just from the top. So from the get-go, we get shoved off of this high ground really quickly. We never contest this cart, which a lot of times teams will either contest this cart literally off rip and hold the spawn door, or you probably contest it like around now. It's just kind of difficult to contest it around now. Probably a little later when it's like down here. It's a little difficult because you don't have like a setup on this high ground or anything. Like a lot of times you'd want to set up like up here, a setup up here, or like you'd want some sort of high ground if you're going to contest it late. But we kind of just let them shove us off of our position that we were going to try and stay on. And then like, look how spread out we are. Like this Penny can't get a lot of attention. Like she has a cloak. You can't really get any attention. I mean, where's your rocket? Oh, he's right next to you. Okay. Yeah, like, but we're like split. We're fighting two fights that like they can choose which one. So it's like if they all want to run through this hallway and kill these 3 people first, they can. Which our blade overstays, and then I think we're overstaying as well. But we do get out. But now, like, look at this team organization. Also, something to note, we are solo tanking Penny, and that's probably a really big problem here, because Penny is just a really bad solo tank. And then we have like Blade frontline. Like, yeah, it's kind of a mess because Penny can't really be solo tanking like that. She doesn't do well when just sitting in the front line. And then we just get ran down. This does it actually just feels like a comp issue. And also we're kind of just chilling here. Like granted, like your position isn't exactly like what's wrong with the situation right now, but it doesn't really help that we're playing like flank Moon Knight when our whole team's getting run down. It does feel like more of a comp issue. Like at this point, I would have already switched to Emma. Especially if you have the ability to play another role. So going back to the whole like flexibility being like the most important thing for ranking up in like solo queue, it's situations like this, right? If you have the ability to not force triple duelist, don't force triple duelist. Like if you are a duelist one trick and you only play Moon Knight, then yeah, you're playing to your strengths. And if like you're basically going to be throwing if you play any other character, then yeah, just play Moon Knight. But I know that you have tanks that you can play. I mean, you don't need another healer here, but like you can switch to like Thing or Thing into Groot is kind of rough though, but you could switch to Emma. Like you have options here. And I know you do eventually, but like I wouldn't have rolled out with triple DPS, but that's kind of me because I'm a flex player. But unless you're like significantly more comfortable on duelist, you shouldn't be forcing that. I don't know about this angle. I'm not a big fan of it. You don't really have much to win here, and you have a lot to lose. I mean the co-op time, even that like this co-op time is not good. You have nobody contesting, and your angle's not good either. You can just die here. I know you have the bubble, but if Hela just throws a stun here, it reveals you, and then you just get murked. You did wind up getting killed there. I mean, I think this position is a little better. I still am not a huge fan of how far up you are. If you're going to play like a high ground here, I'd probably want you to be playing even one window back, like even back here. The line of sight's not as good. It's actually not even as bad, but either playing up here or playing like back here. Or up here even. Could even playing this angle. But the thing is, while you are next to cover, you kind of aren't, because their spawn's right here. And your escape is so linear. Like, you have, as Moon Knight, you have no way of getting out here without being in danger, right? So you either run down this hallway if you get pushed and you're just running in a straight line. You go behind here, and then they have high ground on you if somebody pushes you. Or you, like, try and zip line up, and, like, you're just always in the open trying to escape from this position. So I'd probably be playing a little further back. Oh, that's rough. Goodbye to your blade. See, like, right here? There's no way you survive this. The way that you just went in there, you didn't even get that much healing. Like, you just straight up, like... So, this is one of those situations where you don't get punished for it, but you should know that it wasn't a good situation to be in, right? Like, the reason why you had to do this grapple hook is because you took this position. But then, like right here, like, look where you are, right? You ult, and, like, yeah, it's, like, not a terrible ult, but, like, you have 3 people here. Granted, 2 of them are strategists that are not in the ult, and it's actually not blocking this. So this Hela, if this Hela is a better shot, you should just die here, right? So she's even shooting at you, she's just missing. Realistically, like, you should be getting punished for this. So I know that you don't die from that rotation, but you need to look at it as if you do, right? Like, because you should die. If the players you're playing against are better, you die there. Okay, using the bubble to heal is fine. Oh, I don't... We're gonna ignore that. I don't really know what happened, but I think he might have just gotten confused. Welcome back, Venny. Okay, now we switch to Emma. I like the switch. You're solo taking Penny right now. They have Groot. They have Blade. Blade gets kind of shit on by Emma too. So, like, this is a good pick. And I think the bigger issue is more that you're solo taking Penny. Like, you need a second tank here. And Emma's pretty good to cover up the gaps. Okay. Good grab. Yeah. Just saying, you already got more value on Emma than you did on Moon Knight. Not to saying that you were doing terrible on Moon Knight, but, like, you just won a fight. That was the first fight you won this entire game. I don't hate this position. I think you should probably, like, realistically, I think you could afford to be playing a little further up even, like playing where this Blade is. I think you and Blade should probably be switching places, only because if you get an early grab, like, if they miss position and get a little too far and you grab them, they can just die and then stagger, right? But I think this is fine. I think it's more so that your Blade is too far up rather than you being too far back. Like, I think guarding this area is fine. I think this is a great place to be guarding. We should be paying attention to who's down here, because now, so something to note is, while yes, we want to be fighting for this position here, and I think this is good that you're here fighting for this, because they're down here and they're actually kind of isolated here, right? So they have 2 tanks and a strategist here, so there is potential that there's a kill here. I don't think it's yet, but I think we should be paying attention to how many people are where. Okay. Good grab. Nice. Yeah. I mean, that was a good catch. Interesting. Like, nobody even helped you there. Like, that was just all you, and it worked out perfectly. Oh, look at the Emma. I think you could have secured that. You're not going too far. This is pretty good. The angles you're taking are a little risky, but I mean, you're fine. You have support. Yeah, no, I think you're fine. Just be careful about playing around your cover. Okay. Okay, so... Okay, I'm noticing something here, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see how this unfolds. Okay. He hit that? Oh, he hits that. Okay. That's unfortunate. I think this could have been prevented if we communicated that. Wait, let me see. I feel like we could have communicated this, and you could have shielded that, but I don't, like... Yeah. Like, where do they path? Oh, they actually did come back to you. Yeah, you could have shielded that. But if they didn't say that they wanted you to do that, it's kind of hard for them to expect that you know to do that. Like, I think it would have been a pretty heads-up play to know to do that, but, like, it was possible, but I don't think it was fair of them to expect you to do that if they didn't communicate it. I mean, the good value here. Okay. So what I was going to say earlier, I want to go back to when they Cloak and Dagger ulted. This was after, right? Like, back here? Yeah, so we're fighting up here, right? So something I've noticed here is that they cloak ult, and look what you do. You pop diamond and chase this cloak. So what you could do instead is, first of all, walk backwards, because you know that the only person right here is cloak, and be ready to like kick these people back. So like, even, I know it's like a little minor here, but like if you just kick this mag back, that's like an extra second of this cloak ult that they don't get to use because they can't walk up as fast. And even in this situation, like if cloak, like this cloak ult realistically isn't that good. Like it's not really good. It like looks like it buys them a lot of space, but their support is so far back that you could kind of just be bodyguarding this. Like if you just let your team know, be like, yo, I'm pushing these guys back, and you play like maybe around this corner and sort of just bodyguard this cloak ult can get wasted, and their cloak has to like run all the way back or like retreat before it ends, and then it's wasted, right? So instead of going over here and trying to chase this cloak who's way past you, you could be looking here and trying to bodyguard these people from getting value out of it. So I like, especially because you pop diamond, so I thought that's what you were going to do. Like, yeah, my first instinct would be to pop diamond and start like kicking this mag back, kicking this blade back, getting in the face of this Luna. That way this cloak has to choose between staying up front here on their ult or retreating back and then like making it look like they never used it, right? They could have just walked up to this point anyway. So this was realistically not a good cloak ult. But we're letting them get a little more value than they should. And I mean, we do wind up winning the fight. But I think this fight could have gone like this could have been like a pick right here. Realistically. But I mean, the way it plays out, like it kind of works out. Like you don't die here, which is good. And there is also potential, don't get me wrong, I think there is potential that if you were to sort of play this bodyguard game and sort of kick these people back, that you could die if your healers aren't paying attention to you. Because some people will just feel the threat of the cloak ult and be like, oh, there's an ult here, I need to get really far away from it, when it's really only cloak here, so they're not really in much danger. Like if Rocket just walks up here and starts healing you here, like you're preventing the rest of the team from getting anything. So with a little coordination and a little communication here, like you could have been doing that, but overall it worked out. But just something to note is that when there's a healer ult, and actually wait, let me talk about this real quick. So something to note as when you're playing tank, pretty much any tank, but more specifically like the tanks that have CC or the ability to block or a lot of damage or something like that. So mostly I'm thinking like Emma, Magneto, Groot, Strange even. When you see a healer ult, your first instinct shouldn't really be to chase the person on it or fight inside of it. Your first instinct should be to bodyguard it and make sure that the rest of the team can't get value out of it. So, for example, if they, like, Invisible, especially like Cloak and Invis are good examples of this because they stay still. So if Cloak ults all the way up here, instead of looking to follow this Cloak on top of their ult, what you can do is sort of kick these people off of the ult and threaten that, like, threaten to kill them or make it so they don't get to use the entire duration or they don't get the value out of it. Invis ult is very similar, where it's like if there's an Invis ult, instead of running into the ult and trying to fight people in there, you're very unlikely to get a kill that way. You look for the people that are outside of the Invis ult and make sure they don't get in there. And that's the same case for Emma. Magneto's really good at it because he can just one-shot people. Like, he just does the left click, right click, left click. And they might be just running to the ult because that's safety to them. And then once they realize, like, you're not going to let them get in there at all. And you just kill them for free. Emma's similar. When you just, like, pop diamond, you just bodyguard it. But just keep in mind that you have to communicate that with your team. That way they know that what you're doing and that they can keep healing you. Because this Cloak isn't really a threat when they ult up like that until the rest of the team is there to follow up, right? This is a little unfortunate. You did have the opportunity to save them, but if they didn't say anything, it's not really your fault. I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I'm actually kind of looking to Emma ult. Like, once not right now, but like, okay, well, yeah, maybe right now because this ult's about to end. But when they pop the Luna ult, you know that they don't have a healer ult. And by the way, if you didn't know, this animation where she like puts her arm up and there's like a flare, that's the last second of her ult. In case you didn't know. But I'm probably looking for an opportunity because I know they don't have a healer ult to respond, and I can get a lot of value from just popping my ult here, especially seeing how it's kind of a scrappy fight. We have somebody in spawn. I don't even know who that is in spawn. That's our Cloak. So we're down a healer. So this would be a good way to buy space here. But we go for the diamond grab here and we get the kill. Like, we didn't even need to pop our ult, but I would have been looking for it personally. But we just don't even need it, to be honest. So, I mean, what you did worked out. And you save your ult, so it works out. But now you have an ult, and I think you could be looking for this on their next engagement. Oh. Oh. Oh, you slam him down. Okay. I think you were kind of chasing that Star-Lord a little too much. I feel like... Okay, I don't hate that play, looking for that grab, because Star-Lord, like, you could have gotten a pick. Well, okay, Star-Lord specifically, it's a little difficult to get that pick because he can roll out of your combo, but even so, I don't hate that looking for that pick, because if you get that pick here, they might have to just regroup, and then they have one fight left. But, I think you kind of chased it too much, maybe? Yeah, so you're like tunnel vision on Star-Lord when there's like so many other people here that you could be worried about. It feels like you weren't really assessing the entire situation. Like, I want to see from your perspective again, like who you saw. Yeah, you see Star-Lord, and then like now you're just like seeing red. Like, you only see a Star-Lord. You see Mag. Even Mag, like Mag is a great grab right here. Look at this. You kick him. Literally, if you kick him into this nest, he could die. Yeah, I mean, you do get the grab, but it's on a Star-Lord, which isn't really that priority of a target. Oh, you die for it too. So, something that I'm kind of noticing is that you're using your diamond form a lot to just focus on getting kills. And it's working decently well. But just keep in mind that sometimes your diamond form is better for just denying space and being a threat. So, for example, like, just a hypothetical. I mean, the situation obviously changes if you didn't pop your diamond form early. But let's just say you see this, right? You're not in diamond right now. You see this Mag. if you have your diamond form ready to pop, like my first instinct, like I'm looking at this and I'm just like, oh, if we weren't already in diamond form, I would just run up, drop a shield so he doesn't get healed, and then grab him. And then he just dies. He just blows up. He can't shield himself. Your shield is blocking his heals, and your whole team is looking at him. And then you would just completely destroy this fight because they're just down a Mac. Or if since you're already in diamond, I'd be looking to like kick these people back and prevent this Mag from getting support. This Starlord in my head is already gone. Like I've already considered him escaped. So while even though you do get the grab, I think you could have gotten way more value out of looking for other people. But you do die, and it's not the end of the world here. I think, yeah, I think that was just a little bit of a blunder. I think you could be making a lot more space with your diamond form here. But we'll see if that continues to be a thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go back for that. Good grab. It should be a kill, right? Yep. Good. You killed them even though they have a cloak ult out. Like that was a really good grab. You need to be looking for, okay, I was gonna say, like once you hear Magneto ult, you have a shield, you should be looking for that opportunity. Also, like we have a rocket ult out, you could be looking to shield that so they don't kill it. Good. Yeah, see, like when you do get the picks, like you're doing very well when you're with the way that you were using your diamond form. Like I think you're using it great to get kills, but I think you could afford to be using it a little more versatilely. I like the way you're playing around this cart. You're like trying to like stall, get cover. There's a bubble there for you. Good. You get your ult again. Okay, I think the ult usage is a little concerning. I want to see if they capped this first. I'm assuming that they capped this. Well, maybe not. But I'm going to go back and talk about the last two ults, actually. At the start of that fight, and, like, you rebuilt it really quickly. Which, I mean, you did an excellent job of stalling that cart as much as possible. Like, you stayed on that forever. But I think the big thing I'm seeing here that I'm, like, is bothering me is the ult usage here. Okay, I mean, dying on cart is, like, that's kind of the best thing you could do here. And just stall. Maybe there's a Hail Mary that might work, but it's looking a little dire. Yeah. You definitely switch spawns. Surely you switch spawns, right? Oh. Okay. You dropped your controller. It's okay. It happens. Is there not a button on controller to switch spawns? Is that what's happened? Like, it said G to switch spawns, but you don't have a G button. Okay. I want to look back at these last two ults. So it was actually, like, quite a while back here. It was way before this even. Okay, so this is where you ult here. So, I want to talk about this. So we have our ult up, and I think the way we use it, so they're Emma Pop's ult, right? So they're Emma Pop's ult, and you pop your ult in response, which I don't think is like that bad, right? Like I don't think that popping your ult in response to this is, you know, like a blunder. But look at what you do with your ult. You stare like at this Emma, like, right? So there's two things to note here. First of all, there's an Emma shield here. Second of all, Emma is CC immune in her ult. And also, like, so, like, you're kind of just wasting this entire ult, right? So what I think you should be doing here is trying to take as much space. So your goal with Emma ult is not to do damage. While it does do a decent amount of damage, your main goal is to flood the space with like a dead area. Like if they peek you, then they get mind controlled and your team can follow up, right? So because they're covered by this Emma shield, and maybe you didn't notice it, but you should have noticed that they weren't getting tagged. You should be looking to go around it, right? So imagine if you strafe this way and look at their whole team, right? So now their team has to either seek cover and get away from the Emma ult, or they get mind controlled, or they just get mind controlled and maybe die to your team, right? By looking at this Emma, you're actually not really doing anything because you don't get a single mind control, but switching your angle would change a lot. And I think a big philosophy you should try to keep with Emma's ult is realize that it takes space for you, right? It's sort of the similar situation of like a cloak and dagger ult even. Or like a storm, or not a storm ult, like a torch ult, where it's like he puts the tornadoes down and they can't really walk through it, or else they might die. Emma ult can be treated pretty similarly, where it's like if this Luna, who's like at half HP, gets mind controlled, that's like one Phoenix left click if you add up the damage from your ult, right? Like these people could be dying right now, but look at how much support they're able to give their team still, because your ult's not really getting much impact. And by the time I think your ult actually breaks the shield. Like I think the shield gets broken by your ult, but you could have just went around it. So we're looking at the Emma. Yeah. And look, there's her shield breaking, and you don't even have enough juice left to mind control them. So we could have just been strafing this way, preventing this Luna from using her ult too, and maybe even killing her, and then their Emma would be like kind of less effective because she's mind controlling these people that are like behind cover, whereas their team had no cover. So yeah, you want to be occupying as much space as you can with your ult, and treat it as if you're making a zone that they are not allowed to stand in. The floor is lava for them inside that zone. Another thing to note, just so you're aware, is how Emma ult works. I'm gonna play this one more time. I know we're replaying this exact same moment a lot, but Emma's ult has two different types of fall off. It has fall off by range and it has fall off by angle. So right here, so let's look at this, right? So you're looking like sort of like here, and while you are hitting this Emma, you're actually doing really low damage compared to if your crosshair was on her. It has a really heavy fall off for her peripheral vision. So like right here, this Emma's taking more damage, and now you're looking at her, she's taking more damage. But like once you're looking away, so like this Luna's taking not a lot of damage because you're looking like a little off center. But if you look directly at people, I don't believe it mind controls them any faster, but it does do a lot more damage if you are close and looking directly at somebody. Just something to note, that if you are trying to do damage with your ult and like somebody's low and you get a mind control or something, and you don't want to cancel it, you should look directly at them and be as close as you can to them, so you minimize the fall off, because it actually does do a lot of damage if you are directly on top of them and looking directly at them. So that's one thing about the ult that I feel like I noticed. And when you used your ult again, it seems like there was kind of a similar issue. We're gonna look right here. Okay, here we go. So look where you ult, right? So you get this mind control. And while yes, it is a good like mind control, he's low HP. If you want to keep using your ult, you should be looking for space again, right? So you're not using it for damage, using it for space, which means once I get this mind control, I'm not looking to kill this mag with my ult. I'm going to tell my team, yo, mag's mind controlled, get him. And I'm going to probably look for someone else. So I'm either looking at this Emma, which is probably bad. I'm looking at this Luna, or I'm looking over here to prevent Cloak and Dagger from peeking. I'm looking to cover space. So we don't just stare at this mag. Because look, now this Cloak heals him. We don't get the kill, because it doesn't do that much damage. And then this Cloak heals him. But instead, if we looked at this Cloak, she would have to be really careful in peeking, or else we mind control her. And then you have like the rest of your team able to kill this mag for you. Or you could look at this Luna, and she, same thing, where it's like, if you mind control this Luna, she could just die because she's squishy. Something to note is that there is a lot of merit to canceling your ult sometimes, which I don't believe this is one of those situations. I think you would have a lot of value from your ult looking in this direction, that direction, or even this direction, like looking anywhere except for at this Magneto right now. Once you mind control him, you can't double mind control him, so you should be looking to hit other people with it. But there is merit to, like, for example, if you had Diamond Form up, which you do not, but if you had it up, there is merit to like mind controlling him and immediately canceling it into Diamond Form and getting that kill, like securing it. Even if it like lessens the value from your ult. But I think that the big thing I'm hearing, or I'm seeing here, and the takeaway is that you need to get better value out of your ult by using it as a CC. Remember, it is CC first. There are times where, yes, like the damage will get you kills, but if, like, for example, like right there, you did turn towards that Cloak and Dagger because you saw that she was healing him. But if you just turned there immediately, she wouldn't have been able to take that angle. Luna wouldn't have been able to take this angle. Like, she might have gotten mind controlled and your team's like ready to follow up. I mean, not anymore, but like you need to be occupying that space for as long as possible if you're going to stay in your ult, is the big takeaway. Make sure you're using it as a crowd control ability and not a damage ability. Which, honestly, I would rather we could skip through this because we actually skip like all the way to the point. Yeah, I'd rather see you use it as a CC to a fault where you're missing out on kills than trying to do damage with it and missing out on CC, because you're going to miss out on more kills by not maximizing the crowd control potential of it. You can skip this because I don't really know what happened here. Okay. Honestly, if we're trapped in this room, is there even a way out of this room? Yeah, if we're trapped in this room, like, we just let them kill you. Like, don't even bother hiding, you're just staggering. I don't know what happened, but yeah. Just let the Starlord kill you, or fight back, try build ult charge, run away, like, anything but just hide. When you roll out as Emma, so, yes, you can get 2 dashes here. And it's fine sometimes, but since they're so close, you're going to need that Diamond Form before it's back a lot of the time. If you're going to use a Diamond Form for the dash, just do 1 and cancel it immediately. That way it starts to cool down earlier. Or just don't use it at all if they're too close, right? So like right here, like 15 seconds, let's see if there's an encounter that you might need Diamond Form for. So like right here, like this, okay, well there's like a perfect example. Like right here, he's low, you are ready to block off his heal. Like you could literally, this guy could die if you had Diamond up. Granted, you wouldn't be here yet. You'd be like 1 dash away. Actually, you'd be 2 dashes away, because if you needed it right now, you'd probably be like here, right? But that's kind of the thing. It's like you might need Diamond Form right here. Like right here would also be a good time to use Diamond Form. So, but it works out. But just keep in mind that Diamond Form has a pretty long cooldown. It's pretty valuable. If the fight is relatively close to you, try and assess how far away or how much time you need, whether it's acceptable to use 2 dashes and use the whole duration, 1 dash and cancel early, or just save the diamond altogether. Like this situation is probably a save altogether, or maybe a 1 dash. I personally probably would have done 1 dash, and then I would have lost it a little earlier. Great grab. So like your grabs are really good. Like when you play aggressive here, like you're doing it very well. Like really good grabs. You're hitting the good people with the grabs. You're getting them in bad situations. Okay, yeah. Like your Diamond Form usage for the way you're using it is very good. The only criticism I really have of the Diamond Form usage is trying to be a little more versatile with how you think about the Diamond Form, right? Because not only do you actually have that threat of killing people, or like the ability to kill people, you have the threat of killing people. Like if you just stand in Diamond Form in like bodyguard areas, like they can't really walk past you. You're going to either kick them back or you're going to threaten to grab them if they get too close. So that's kind of the power of that, where you can just control area by having aura, realistically. All right, so solid defense. We're making it rain. Let's see how you play offense here. I do like the Emma pick. I do think that I'm glad that you're staying on Emma here. Even though that your Penny switched, like I'm glad you're staying on Emma here because I think this is like, I mean, I think you're doing well on Emma. Like you're getting a lot of value from playing Emma. Um, and like even here, like, yeah, I was right about to say, yeah, I was kind of hoping you would get the Strange, but I mean, you got somebody, and look, they're taking damage. They have to like catch up on heals now just because you got that grab, and now they're in trouble. You should be shielding behind them. So look what's happening. Keep this in mind. You have 400 shield. You have a full shield. It's off cooldown, and this Strange is one shot. However, you see the Luna back here, so he's got shield up. You see the Luna. There is a world where he survives. If you throw your shield through him and like back here in front of the Luna, she's gonna either he's going to die really quickly, and Emma will die too because they just don't have healing, or this Luna's gonna run through that shield, and then she's gonna put herself in danger. Look at that. Like he almost survived. And there's actually like there's probably a world where he actually just full survives that. Oh, we gotta be careful. Yeah, so yeah, good. We have to be careful. We're not getting healing, so like where could our healers? Okay, well, I hate that the spectator. I want to see where our healers are. Oh my god, you're still blinded. Okay, there we go. Okay, so our healers are here now, but they were probably not here when we were low there. So you have to be like mindful, like, oh, I'm not getting healing. I wonder what's happening, right? Like, are my healers getting dove? Are they around the corner? Like, what could be happening that I'm not getting healing right now? Because I don't think that your healers are just in your line of sight and neglecting you for that long. I mean, good. I even like how you, well, actually, you already have 3 on cart. You don't need to back up, but I like how you even make sure that you're escorting cart because you know that nobody can be there right now. Something to note, you should recall your shield. Let this heal. It is kind of like a thing that you just need to, as an Emma player, you need to just get built into your muscle memory. Is like, if my shield, if I see this like bar and it's like weak, I need to recall it so it heals because this shield is doing nothing and it's like all the way back there or something. Because having your shield healthy helps a lot. So like now this shield's low. Okay, there we go. But now it's healing and it's back. Good. Good grab. And the strength, you kick him under the oh. Nobody's gonna shoot that. Okay, I mean it was a good grab, and I like how you kicked him under the cover, because that way he can't fly and like go up. Like, so if you kicked him like, I don't know, like back here or something, he could fly and then look for like cover this way, and it'd be a lot harder to die. But that was a good kick. Same thing here. You should recall your shield because that's doing literally nothing, and you want it to start regenerating as fast as possible. Okay. I think we're getting a little too ambitious with our grabs. I think we're getting like kill hungry with it. It's your diamond form is so valuable that like just popping it like that is actually like, unless they're committed to like going through there and you're gonna get a kill from it, popping it like that doesn't get as much value because now they know that you don't have it, right? So by popping that cooldown, even before you cancel it or anything like that, once you pop it, they know that in 8 seconds they are free to use like Agamotto or um I guess that's like the big one, Agamotto, or go in with like a healer ult, and they can use it as late as possible. So if you had diamond form up, this Luna might be tempted to ult before she turns the corner and then go in, because you might chokeslam her and she might die before she gets to use it, right? Or this Agamotto, now he doesn't need to like go for a crazy like play to make it work. He can just walk past you and go for it because he knows that you don't have diamond. So holding that cooldown actually has a lot of value because the threat of you popping it at an opportune moment is also very strong. Granted, oh, and then also that could happen. Okay. So this is another situation where I would have canceled it after one dash. It is a decent amount of distance to walk, but you let it cancel like as you get to the fight. So now you have like no diamond for 9 seconds. Which might be okay, but like right here, like this would be a really good diamond grab if you had it up. He's gonna die, but like he could die a lot faster if you grab him and take away his shield. Okay, we get it. Nice. Oh, that... Well... Honestly, I think that might have been good for you. Let me see. Who are you going to hit with this? Rocket? Nah, you probably killed this Luna if you mind control her. Yeah, no, that was actually just really good for you to save her life. I was going to say, like, Rocket might just dash out of your line of sight and you don't get him, but yeah, that Luna was probably cooked if you didn't. So I'm noticing something about your shielding habits, and I'll talk about this after the VOD. I'm going to make a note of the shielding habits, and I think the ult habits are the big things. Yeah, and the diamond form habits. We're kind of popping, like, I don't think popping it and, like, you know, threatening that is like a bad thing, but look at what you do here, right? So we go for this. We pop this, and then once we realize, like, oh, we're not gonna get a grab, we kind of just like walk away with this, right? Granted, I mean that happens. Sometimes you miss your dash, but I think we need to put more focus on how valuable diamond form is. So either you try and use the fact you're in diamond form to sort of create space and threaten to grab people by like walking up, knowing your healers are following and looking at you, like you have damage resistance. If this mag walks up too far, you grab him and your team can kill him, like stuff like that where you're just threatening. Or you cancel it early, that way the cooldown starts earlier. So think about it like this, right? I'm gonna do this again and we're gonna look at the cooldown, right? Even before this, so when you pop this, it's a little too soon, but it's fine. We'll just watch this again. Like, this was good. That was a great crystal grab. And here, I think you should be walking up. You need to have more presence, right? Your healers are looking at you. They're healthy. They're not getting dove. You have people behind you. You can walk up. Okay, so we pop this, and at this point, when we're, like, retreating, we're, like, not really committed to this diamond. So at this point, I would either be trying to walk up and like just push them back a little bit, like not walk all the way up, right? Like you're not trying to just go for their backline or anything, but you just create some presence, right? You just sort of get here. Their mag is no longer allowed to be like past this line. He's not allowed to be here. Their Emma either has to pop diamond in response or like something like that, right? You force a response by just walking up, and while you do that, you should probably be like holding left, right? So you'd be like up here. That way your healers don't have to go super wide. So for example, if you this is just a side note, this has nothing to do with what you're doing, but if you wanted to walk up and have space, you want to hold wide, right? So if you're up here, this cloak can probably even see you here, maybe with a jump. But if you're up here, this cloak can't see you, right? So that's what I would probably be trying to do, is like walk up slowly, maybe not like rush it or anything, but just hold my grab, walk up. If they get too close, then I grab them. Like mag has no bubble. This Emma has diamond, but if you grab her before she pops the diamond, she might be in trouble. So like you have the ability to get value out of this. But if we're gonna bail, we should probably get to cover first and then shield or cancel it, or just cancel it and put a shield in front of you. That way you get your cooldown sooner. So if we look at this, like, okay, so that was 6 extra seconds of diamond form. So when this has 6 seconds, let's see if there's a time that we could have used it. Okay. Actually, probably not right here. Good burn. Okay, so you don't actually get punished for having 6 more seconds on the cooldown. You get it back before I didn't really see like a crazy good opportunity to use it. See, good grab. Again, really good grab. I mean, good ult. That was an excellent ult. Nice. Okay. I mean, first of all, I'm just going to answer your question. Should you keep playing Emma? Yes. You are doing very well on Emma. Like, at least in this game, you did very well. A lot of the things you did were very good, very, like, correct. The thing... Actually, I'm going to keep this open. So there's a couple of things that I'm kind of noticing as, like, a general trend across the board. I think you might be thinking about the character a little one-dimensionally. I will say that the way that you are playing her is very effective for what you are trying to do, but I think you might need to be thinking about the character a little more dynamically. So the 3 things I'm noticing are your diamond form usage, your shield usage, and your ult usage, right? So your diamond form, you are doing a very good job at using it to secure kills, catching opportune targets and getting them, like, you know, just until they're dead. Like, you're getting good grabs, and when you do get the grab, they most of the time die, and you're getting good combos. Like, you're doing very well at using her diamond form aggressively as a kill tool. However, you could also be mixing in the opportunity to use it as a space making tool. When you're in diamond form, you can't get CC'd, you have damage reduction, and you have the ability to grab them. So you're able to just walk up, I don't want to say for free, but you can walk up with a lot less fear than a normal character can just walk up. And you can threaten a lot of space by just walking. You don't even need to do anything, but if someone comes close to you, you kick them, you grab them, you're able to create a lot of space by just threatening the fact that you are in diamond form. As well as, like, peeling is another thing. You didn't really have to peel that much this game, or almost at all, because they weren't really, like, it didn't seem like much, but using your diamond form and holding it as well is important. Knowing when you should use it. I think you might have been a little too quick on the trigger to push it sometimes. You didn't really get punished for it, but it's something that I feel like I've noticed, that it's like you seemed very eager to look for the kill with diamond form, and I think there's a lot of value of holding it for a very opportune moment, and being ready to pop it quickly. So that's what the diamond form that I'm noticing. When you do use it to get a kill, you are very effective at it. Like, you have that down. You're good. The second thing I'm noticing is the shield usage. It does seem like you are using the shield also, again, pretty one-dimensionally. A lot of times you're just using it for cover, whether it's for you, for your healers. There was one time where you threw it up at the torch because you knew he was going to start raining terror down. Something I want you to be looking for your shield usage is to actually use it more aggressively. I didn't really see, if you did, I didn't notice it. You using it to cut heals. One of the strongest things, actually, let me get in the practice range. One of the strongest, like, techniques that Emma can do is to put her shield behind a tank to cut the heals, and then immediately switch to diamond form, and you can actually animation cancel that, and then grab them. So while they're in the grab animation, their healers cannot heal them because there's a shield in the way. And obviously you stop them from walking past a shield. So I would get used to doing that combo. And it looks something like this, where you shield behind them, diamond, and they grab. And, like, they can't get healed because there's shields in the way. And while it's only 400 HP, and yes, they can burn that if they have, like, a team focusing them or whatever, but if it's just like a Luna or a Cloak and Dagger, they're not going to burn the shield and save their tank by, like, that quickly. Like, you do a lot of damage, you're CCing them, your whole team's looking at them. Like, this shield can be enough. And then the last thing I'm noticing is with your ult. So your ult, let me go over here. So I feel like there, like, numerous times, that last ult was actually pretty good, but I think the reason why it was a good last ult is because you were, like, it was a good time to use it to kill, but I think using it as a crowd control move, first and foremost, is going to be the strongest. So, for example, if you pop ult, like, on these, there's a cover, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to, like, mind control, and then I'm going to move the next target, and I'm going to, like, do this and make it so they have to either run away from it, or it prevents them from peeking. So imagine if you're one of these bots and this Emma's ulting you and you're like, okay, well, I'm a healer, this guy got mind controlled, and I'm like, I want to heal him, but if I, like, try and peek out too much, like, they have to sort of do this, like, swivel technique, or else they might get mind controlled themselves, and if they get mind controlled themselves, they're in a big trouble. So it's the threat of, like, if I'm right here and I'm ulting and I don't move, like, just say I don't move, then actually let me just draw it. So look, if I am an Emma and I'm right here on this dot and I'm ulting in this direction, this whole space, and I'm gonna just draw it like here, you can kind of treat it like this, right? Like, this whole space is fire. They can't be in here, or else they might get mind controlled. And you can kind of think of it that way. Just be like, this entire line of sight, anything I could see is lava. But then on top of that, you can also factor in, I can move. So I can sort of do things like this, where I'm going to mind control, I'm going to look at this guy. If he doesn't get to cover, I'm mind control, and I'm going to try and cover their angles. And now I'm walking up their cover. And you can get a lot of value that way, because you need to have trust on your team that they are going to take the opportunity to kill the people you mind control. And if they don't have an opportunity to kill the people you mind control, you might be mind controlling at a bad time. There are, you know, exceptions, and there's some times where it's better or worse to be doing it. But for the most part, you should be looking at your ult as a way to create an opportunity for your team to get back into a fight, or to start a fight, or something like that. A big thing is, like, if their tank is too far up or something, you can pop the ult, you can mind control their tank, and if there's a good line of sight, you just deny the ability for the healers to peek them. Oh, and also I could talk about the range. So let's get this Luna. Just so you know how it works here. Let me make sure she's... Okay. So, new Luna. So I'm going to look directly at her point blank. So she dies. She dies, like, with a couple of seconds to spare even. But now I'm going to look, like, off center. Oh, actually she dies too. Maybe even more. Wait. Am I tripping? Or am I too close? But yeah, if you're far away, it definitely has to fall off like this. I guess I could try it like this, right? So let me get... I actually want to test this right here, because I'm gonna go up here. I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna ult her from here. I'm just gonna track her. Okay, so she actually has, like, no HP. Well, that's kind of annoying, because now I have to kill her, but... Oh, sweet. Okay. Now I'm gonna look a little off center. Welcome back, Benny. I'm gonna ult like this. Does it do as much damage without tripping about it? It does slightly less damage. Wait. Let me go, like, way off then. It actually, the fall off is a lot less than I thought. It's actually a lot less. Okay, I was wrong about the damage. It did slightly less damage, but yeah. So if I'm looking way off, oh, actually, that's not even nearly as bad as I thought. Okay, so I guess you don't really need to worry about looking directly at them as much as I thought, unless you're trying to, like, literally maximize your damage. Okay. That was Pika's VOD we just did. And I think that's pretty much everything I had to say about it. Work on the versatility of your kit, basically. Because I feel like the way you're using her kit is very effective for the way you're using her kit, but I think you can do so much more. But overall, I think you should. I think you should continue playing Emma. Like, I think you are doing very well on Emma, and I think that she seems to be like working for you, and like you seem to have a lot of aspects of her kit like very well done. So I would continue playing Emma. Don't think you should give up the character. W VOD though. We just did Pika's VOD. Let me pull up. Actually, so something I'm gonna do. I don't even know if I need to say this to you guys, but something I'm gonna do here that helps me. I'm gonna pull up the VOD, but I'm not gonna pull it up all the way. I'm gonna leave it here because when I am scrubbing the VOD to figure out where it starts so I can timestamp it, I usually will open up the actual page with the scoreboard and then I will take a break. But it's annoying for me because I don't know when I start talking about the actual VOD. I have to like skip through until I start talking and I'm not gone. So I'm going to leave it here, and then when I get back, I'm going to click on this, and it'll be easier for me. Yeah, it's just for me. But I'm going to take a quick, like, 5-minute break. I'm going to stretch my legs, get some water, go to the bathroom maybe. I suggest you guys do the same. Take care of yourself. We have 5 minutes, intermission. I'll be right back. We're back. Alright, so we just finished Pika's VOD. This is Wisdom's VOD. And it looks like it's pretty short. So it was a 2-0. Played Loki. Did pretty well. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. This might be a short one if it's this short of a game, and it looks like it's pretty one-sided, so we'll see. But let's jump right into it. Actually, wait, what were the notes? 1 second. Forgot the notes. I don't remember when this was posted. Okay, not really much to note. But so we'll just take a look at this. It looks like we did pretty well. We're playing Loki on Health 7. Pretty solid. Loki's pretty much always gonna be good. No swaps. So we're dual healing Mantis Loki, which is interesting, but I think if we're gonna run solo Vanguard, it's probably like not that big of a deal. I mean, these comps are both kind of bad, but solo Vanguard makes it so like Mantis doesn't have as much duty to pocket heal. She doesn't have as many people to heal, so it's okay. Where you'd probably just have, you know, Mantis focus on keeping a regen on these guys, and then you have Loki doing pretty much all of the pocket healing for the mag. Let's see how we do. Here, starting on the monument. Work is kill me. Also, it suck. I'm going to miss all this. Yeah, probably. I do not stream for that long, but hope work goes better. It's interesting how we were those Loki clones we were just killing? Yeah, well, whatever. I feel like you probably should be taking this time to like set up positioning instead of breaking those clones. Although I do think breaking the clones is nice. I think that's good that you are doing that. Okay. Surviving. Waiting for the dive is good. I don't know if we needed to pop runes here. I mean, so the thing is, so there's not that much threat here where you would need to pop runes. So they're playing like full dive, right? They have Cap, Venom, Iron Fist, Wolf. So there's one thing here that you pretty much should want to hold runes for, and that's a Wolf kidnap. So if your mag gets kidnapped, you would want to save runes to drop on, like, to drop a clone and then rune him so he doesn't die to the wolf, right? However, their team doesn't have that much damage to follow up on that. So if you just pocket heal him, he's probably surviving. If they had some, like, instead of an Iron Fist, if they had someone like a Phoenix or a Punisher, that might become a problem because then your mag gets kidnapped and he's just gonna die through his bubble and through the healing, possibly. But in this case, I think you don't really have that much pressure to hold your runes. Even so, I think you should, you know, use them in the best scenario, but you're very unlikely to get punished for using them too frequently here. Classic position. Nice. Oh. I was ready to say, I think we're committing to that position a little too hard. We're not able to heal. Yeah, see, like, in a situation like that where you use your runes, like, proactively, like, wait, let me go before you use them. So, there's, like, everybody in your team's, like, literally full HP by the time you pop these, and it's, yes, there is merit to doing something like this, to use it, like, proactively, that way you can walk up pretty much for free, but, there are more, it is more likely that you run into a situation that you need your runes to use as a reaction, right? But I don't think you're gonna get punished for this. But I feel like there will be times where you need to hold your runes a little more. If you continue playing Loki, that is. That was a good swap. A really good swap to save you from the combo. Interesting to take Mantis here, but honestly, because I don't think you were in that much pressure to ult at that second. I think there was probably enough time to... Well, first of all, I don't even know if you needed to ult because your mag had that, but if you didn't trust the mag and hitting it, you could have grabbed the cloak and dagger after they finished their ult. Which I think that's kind of a situation where it's like, it's literally like if mag hits the nuke, then you don't really need to match it. You're probably good. And if mag misses, then you just copy the cloak and dagger and match. So I think that was kind of like a situation where it's a little bit of like a checkmate for you. But either way, it looks like they're not really, it doesn't seem like they're fighting back very well. So like, it's one of the things where it's like you're doing so well that it doesn't really matter. But like, yeah, like it doesn't feel like this is kind of very one-sided. I was like, I'm just like, you switched to Moon Knight. No, wrong person. But I mean, you're doing well. You're doing decent amount of damage. You have top healing on your team. This guy's name is The Blade, and he's playing Blade. That was their Loki, I'm pretty sure. What's up, CK? How are you doing? I don't know why I watched this entire pre-game. I just like zoned out, and I'm just like, oh wait, I could have skipped this. So Loki on this map is actually really good. I'm interested to see where you position, but I think the big thing is knowing that he has a lot of really good positions. Notably, these rafters are extremely good for Loki in general. Putting clones up on these windows are really good. On top of these pillars are actually not bad, especially if you are playing into their main. Like a clone up here could reach into main here if you win a fight and you want to set up. As well as just having clones for reaction is very strong here. So you have a lot of luxury of playing Loki on this map specifically. Oh. They don't even pop his passive. Yeah, I would like to see clones being placed in a little bit more of creative positions. So there's a couple of benefits of just not having your clones like all in the same spot. It gives you somewhere to teleport to with your snap, as well as it varies the timing of your projectiles, which can be good and bad. When all your clones are on top of each other, you basically shoot like one big projectile that heals a lot. But when you have clones in different angles, whether it be here, whether it be like here or like back here or like anything, like you have different angles, not only do your projectiles hit at slightly different times and hit like slightly different areas because you're shooting from different angles, it makes it so if your person you're trying to heal is in a position that might be line of sighted, you almost always will have the ability to heal them with partial healing, right? So you don't, it's not all or nothing. It's more of a curve where you can heal with just your explosion, your clones one explosion, or two, three, or sorry, one, two, or three, rather than either 3 or 0. Hydrate and posture check, you got it. Just waking up? Hell yeah. Good morning. You're back only for 2 minutes? We're going over your VOD. Going into a pool? Hell yeah. Yeah, we are currently doing your VOD. Although this one it seems pretty one-sided and pretty short, so I'm not sure if there's a ton to talk about, but there's some things. There's always something to talk about. So like here, I'm probably looking to reposition my clones immediately, keeping them in a, actually, well, maybe not immediately because we don't have a lot, but making sure we have at least one clone, because I feel like your healing is probably not enough without any clones at all, but trying to position them in a place that is able to see your team but not able to just be poked at by enemies is pretty important. So like right here, I'm probably looking, if we're going to push up to this choke point, I'm probably looking for a clone to be maybe up here on these like stairwell, maybe here even, because if my team is pushing past this choke, they're probably too far anyway. So I'm probably looking for a little bit more creative spots. By putting a clone like right here, somebody in the enemy team could recognize it, like this Mantis, for example. If she has a good angle on it, she could just pop that without you being able to do anything about it. Watch the VOD of this VOD after? Yeah, no, take your time. The VOD will be there. It'll probably be uploaded in a couple days to YouTube if you want to wait for that, or you can just watch it on Twitch. Yeah, peace out, Wisdom. Have a good day. Okay, copy the Mantis. Okay, they're using a lot. Friends gathering. Wait, our Mantis died. So, unfortunately, there is only Mantis and Cloak to copy, and the Cloak's on the enemy team. But yeah, I think of the two, you definitely want to prioritize copying the Cloak and Dagger if you can. But I mean, oh, that's awkward. You had to reload. What are these runes for? Oh, awkward. I also think a reason why you probably might feel pressured to be using your runes to like, for like that, like, were you going to die? I want to see this. So, okay, so we pop runes here. I want to go, oh god, I want to buy like one frame. Okay. Yeah, like, you're probably not dying here, realistically. And I think the reason why you might feel like you are going to die is because your other hero is a Mantis. If you had another healer that wasn't a Mantis, you probably wouldn't be popping runes here. Like, you can trust that they're going to heal you. But Mantis doesn't do that much healing, so it's like it kind of one of the things where you probably feel a lot more pressure by this Wolverine. Um, if in your head you're thinking like, yeah, I would have popped those runes anyway, even if I had a Luna or a Cloak and Dagger, then maybe you should be thinking a little more critically about your rune usage, because this cooldown, this 30-second cooldown, is really important. Um, if you're burning it too frequently, then it is likely to get abused by a lot of strong opponents, right? Like if somebody is smart, like for example, Psylocke or like Star-Lord, if they know that you have runes on cooldown, their ultimate gets immensely more value. This one button, this cooldown, these runes just completely counter their ult entirely. And then there's a lot of like ultimates and combos and everything that are very similar. Like a Groot ult, like runes can just ruin his ability to team wipe. Magneto ult, if a mag is trying to ult your Luna, you can drop runes to save her. Um, but it all comes down to holding on to them. It's one of those cooldowns. It's another one, kind of like the Emma Diamond, that having it available is half of why it's good. It's not, it's good for the effect, but it's also good for the threat of having it. Because if you are able to pop them at any time, they have to play differently. Um, that's basically what it comes down to. The enemies can play a lot more of a dangerous game when they know you have runes on cooldown. And by holding the runes until a perfect time, or maybe not even a perfect time, but holding the runes until a good time, that was a pretty decent time for runes, because he could have died. Good copy. I like copying this early, especially because you know that they're probably... Oh, that's awkward. Oh no, that's theirs. Okay. Um, okay. I mean, I don't hate that. I think that's actually fine. I like how you went behind cover, to end it. Um, you probably could have even gone deeper if you really wanted to, but it's risky. But I mean, I think this was a safe play, and you know that um, they're on a time constraint, right? They have to touch. They don't even have time for like a strange portal unless they have somebody touch for overtime here. So I think forcing the space to fight up here is valuable. And oh god, they're forced to use such a bad cloakle. They get the overtime, but they're in shambles. Oh, this would be a great place to have runes too. But I think the last runes you used were actually probably okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, the only thing that I mostly took out of that was the rune usage. I feel like you're probably using them too frequently. Um, However, like I suspected from the enemy team comp and the way they were playing, you were kind of allowed to. They didn't really have anything to punish you for overusing your runes. But I think if you go against a team that does punish you for overusing your runes and keeping it on cooldown so much, without getting that much value out of them, you can get punished really heavily, and they might force you to switch off of Loki because of it. That's kind of one of the strongest things about Loki that separates him from other strategists, is that he has that really strong cooldown where the runes are basically as strong as some ultimates, on their own on a 30-second cooldown, and you kind of have to treat it that way. You don't want to burn your ult without getting a lot of value. Same thing, you don't want to burn your runes without getting a lot of value. Um, Realistically, if they were forcing that cooldown out of you and making you, like, for example, like if Psylocke was poking you and making you like fear for your life, you're like, I don't have a snap to swap to a clone. I don't have like an invisibility. I don't have this or that, so I need to pop my runes. That's one thing. If they're forcing it out of you, that's a good play by the enemy team. But if you're taking like a minimal amount of poke or pressure and you immediately pop your clones, or pop your runes, you might get abused for doing that too frequently. So that's the big thing I noticed. Realistically, the rest of the gameplay was pretty solid. Like, you were healing pretty well. I mean, it's kind of a difficult VOD to review because I feel like it was pretty one-sided to the point where it's like they didn't really warrant much of a difficult response on you, so it's kind of hard to tell if how you would do under different circumstances or under a certain amount of pressure from different characters. So I'd be interested in seeing a different Loki VOD that might be like a closer game, or one where you might have been struggling with a certain aspect of the game. But I mean, overall you did fine. The only thing I really have to take away is the rune usage here. Their Mantis was some, yeah, uh she was not doing too great. Um which is interesting because Mantis, I actually think Mantis does pretty well into Loki. She farms leaves off of his clones, so you have a character that is benefits from and has an incentive to kill the clones. So not only is it just like, oh, I'm helpful because I'm killing clones, you're actually getting a benefit from it. Um, because some people need that incentive, or else they just won't break the clones. Like, killing the clone isn't enough of an incentive. So having Mantis like nail it in your head, that's like, oh, you need to break the clones because they're gonna give you your heals back. Um, it really helps. Same thing with like a lot of characters that get a benefit from killing the clones. Kind of like I think it is a pretty good like conditioning mechanism to train players to uh like do it. So for example, like Moon Knight, the clones are basically free onks. Um, Mantis, you get the leaves back. Atom, you get your heals back. Phoenix, you can proc your regen. Bucky, you get the reset a little bit because it's like Bucky, you have to use your ult. Stuff like that, where you get a benefit from hitting Emma because you can use the clones as a battery to keep your charge up. So things like that, I think, is actually pretty good for getting into the habit of breaking the clones. And Mantis is a really good one because she doesn't have any damage fall off, so you can just headshot the clone from a mile away and get your leaves back at any time. And you're keeping Loki on like low clones and forcing his cooldowns way more. But yeah, this Mantis did not do very well. I mean, their whole team didn't really do very well. I imagine that like with the way this game went out, they were probably like infighting or something. Like they were probably arguing, and like it didn't seem like they were like playing the game. Like, to be honest. Um, but yeah, W VOD. We like Loki VODs. I think Loki is a very interesting character to review because I think he is very versatile, and he has a lot of ways that you can play him differently and still be very effective. Like, he does a lot, and managing how you do all the stuff he does can be done in so many different ways. So there's a lot of times where like I look at a Loki VOD and I'm like, oh, I'm looking to do this with my ult, or I'm looking to do this with my clones, or make this play, and then they do something completely different, and I'm like, oh, well, that's also pretty freaking good. Um, so yeah, you're doing another VOD? I'm thinking so. Yeah, that was a short one, so I'm thinking I'm gonna do your VOD. Um, so I'll take a look at that in a second. Yeah, that was a short one, so we haven't even like we're at 2.5 hours, and like an hour of it was just yapping. So like we did two VODs in an hour and a half basically. So we're like pretty short VODs today. I mean, Pika's VOD wasn't even like short, but it like the like looking over it was pretty short overall. So I have your game here on Krakoa where you played Strange and Thing. Um, says, I want to see if my tank skills have improved over time, and of course, if there's any improvements I can do in gameplay. I did particularly well in this game, but there's always an improvement in my mind. Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break. As always, I recommend if you need to, you do as well. Get some water, go to the bathroom, stretch your legs, and we'll be right back to look over this tank gameplay. All right, we're back. Um, so we're looking at this game where we MVP'd, top final hits, didn't even do like we have 3 people on our team that out damaged us, and we still had top final hits. So that's our top damage was a Scarlet Witch. What's going on? Yeah, and we actually don't have the most damage blocked. Interesting. Which is interesting because you play Thing, and Thing kind of just absorbs a lot of damage. But that's not a bad thing. That's I mean, generally having lower damage blocked is, I mean, it's hard to extrapolate any information about that, because on one hand, damage blocked is good because you are feeding your healers ultimate, and you are you know, absorbing damage that other people could be taking. On the other hand, you are taking resources from your team, right? So if you're taking a ton of damage and your healers can't look anywhere else, or else you instantly die because you're positioning so bad, then having high damage blocked isn't exactly good, because the rest of your team might be dying because your healers have to look only at you. So you can't really tell too much from the damage block stat, because depending on the situation, it could be good or bad. Emma and Invis were your stack? Okay. Seems good. Okay, let's see how we do. Let's see what we do. So we're on Krakoa. So we start on Think, which is interesting. So personally, I don't really like rolling out on Thing to start until I know what the enemy team is playing, because I feel like um Thing has a certain number of characters that you want to play him against, right? So like Spider-Man, Black Panther, Magic type stuff, where he does really well playing against them because he basically counters them, and he can peel pretty well. But then he also has a good amount of characters that you don't want to play him against at all. So like Groot, Emma, even like Punisher can be rough for him. Wolverine can be rough for him. Stuff like that. Well, I don't want to say Wolverine could be rough for him, but it's up in the air for that one. But it's interesting because I feel like you're more likely to encounter characters he doesn't want to play against than characters he does want to play against. So unless you have a read, I generally don't really prefer rolling out on Thing. But if you want to, I don't think it's like there's anything wrong with that. It's just one of the things where you have to be kind of careful because you might need to be quick to switch. Doing it for the team up. Okay. Um, that's kind of an interesting take, because I get that, because it's like that does like tip the decision. It's like, okay, well, I can have Thing and I could play it with team up. So that might change your mind of like, oh, I could play such and such, or I could play Thing with team up. So like if you didn't have the invis, then maybe you don't play Thing here. But even so, I feel like if your healer is dead set on playing invis instead of like Luna or Cloak and Dagger or uh Loki, I probably still would just let them. But again, it's like if you are confident in your Thing gameplay and like that's what you want to be playing, go for it. I don't think it's like a bad decision. I just think you have to be a little careful because there is a lot of opportunity running into some of those characters that are really dangerous. Oh no, we wasted our double jump. You waited pretty long to use your dash, but I mean, it's fine. That's like a really minor thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, so immediately after that happened, I'm already like, yeah, we need to switch off Thing. Like once I realized that like one Groot roll just completely ruined my day, I'm like immediately wanting to get off. And seeing the Bucky too, which Bucky doesn't like absolutely like terrorize Thing, but Bucky does a lot of damage and his hook stuns you in like a really annoying way. So like yeah, Bucky's really you know, unfun to play into. As pretty much any tank, though. Okay. I like how you're pressuring this backline so hard. We popped the team up. Yeah, I actually like what you're doing right here. You just need to know when to get out. Which... Oh, we let them cap it. Oh, no, that's our team. That's our team. We're good, we're good. I thought they like back capped it behind us. That is a crazy cloak ult to go in. But, okay. Remember what I said about the last... actually, no, this was Pika's VOD. So, right here, instead of looking to just hit this cloak and dagger that's probably never going to die, because we have no way of pulling her off her ult. I guess there is some merit to doing it here, because they are really far up. Oh, we actually have a Bucky. So, there is merit to doing this, but also, if Bucky hooks this cloak and dagger, they don't need you here. Instead, what you could be doing is bodyguarding this. So, like, this Bucky is not on the cloak and dagger ult, so you could just be punching at him and forcing him into the, like, going past you. Because you're not really going to get that much value from just being right here. I will say that there is a little bit of merit to going back there to slam. In case Bucky hits the hook, then you slam so they can't cape out. But look at what just happened. We turned this cloak and dagger ult that was realistically not that good. But now it looks pretty good, because now their whole team is ready to be on point. I mean, not their whole team. Like, this is still not really that good for them, but it's way better than it could have been. You probably would have gotten more value by bodyguarding and making them sort of waste their time trying to get through you, and then dashing out when you started getting pressured too hard. Because now you kind of just gave them that space for free instead of, like, making them fight for it. Even though they have a cloak and dagger ult down, you can slow them down. Even if it's just, like, body blocking. Body blocking and, like, CCing, it goes a long way. I don't think you should have, like, overstayed your welcome or anything, but I think there was some merit to staying, like, over here and forcing them to be unable to support their cloak and dagger. Okay. I don't know if we really need that, but I mean, we got it. Okay. Good chase. So this map is actually interesting because specifically on this one, once these teleporters are open, which they're not yet, but they're about to be, on most maps, it makes a lot of sense to sort of push up to the choke point and play for that, right? So you, like, push up a little far up, I guess, take as much space as you can. But this teleporter kind of adds a little interesting dynamic, which means there's a lot more merit to playing a little further back, because if they flip the fight or flip the point, it's really annoying to deal with, because then they can push from main and push from point, and they're getting percent the whole way. So you just pretty much always have to be ready to fall back, which it looks like we are pretty well. Granted, the teleport's not even open yet, but it's about to be. We might be a little too far back. Like, we should be in front of a rocket at least. Okay. They're just wasting that. Interesting. I mean, they got a kill, but, like... Oh, we get nothing from the Wanda ult. What happened to your dash? Yeah. So you kind of fall for the trap here of going for the dash and then having nothing to get out. You very easily could die here. So let's just look at this again. I don't actually fully hate this dash, because I feel like what you were going for originally... Oh, here. What you're going for originally, like, didn't seem that bad, right? So we dash in, and we're looking to disrupt their front line here. And, like, make sure... maybe, like, knock up this Groot. We have our Wanda ulting. So, like, there's some merit to this dash here. But I think going in here is really risky, especially seeing as, like, you know there's a Groot. So, like, if this Bucky was better at hitting you, and maybe if he stunned you, like, you could just die here. But they don't, and they like literally let you get your dash cooldown back. Do you die for this? Do you live? Oh, you actually died for this. But yeah, I think you go too deep with your dash. Yeah, things charged gives him the chunk of shield, makes him CC immune. So using it as an escape or a kill secure is way more important than using it to get in. Um, One of the things that I think was very strong about his not rework, I guess, but the ability to jump to enemies is now that he can jump to enemies, he has the ability to go in without using his charge. And I think that's one of the things that makes him way stronger after that change, because now you can dash in with your punch, get some damage on them. If you get them low enough and you want to stop them from escaping, you instant slam them and then you confirm the kill because they can't dash out. Or you dash in, start making space, and then when you get in a sticky situation, you use your charge to get out because you get that instant shield. Also note that you can pop the team up before you charge, and as long as it's not going to overfill your HP, you can start stacking up the invis team up shield while you get the burst shield. So if you're like getting low, you're at like 200 HP, you pop the team up, you start charging, and then by the time your charge ends and that shield goes away, you have the shield from the team up as well, so you get like double tankiness. Undervalue the charge. I think that is the strongest part of his kit, and I think managing it properly is the key to being good at Thing. I think it is very easy for Thing players to get stuck in this trap of using the charge to go in all the time and then not have anything to get out. A lot of times you'll see them charge in and slam and like engage the fight with that slam, and then the target that they slammed, since they don't have any damage on them yet, just walks out of the ground, and then they just dash away. And you might be able to get like one or two punches on them before they get away, but you don't kill them, and then they get away. Whereas if you do some damage to them and then slam before they think about getting away, it is too late for them to get away because they can't run out of it because they're like one shot after the slam. So looking to get as much value as you can out of the slam, the charge in general, because it also gives you shield. So it's his most like versatile tool. And knowing when to use it is really important, because if you're wasting it all the time, then you might as well be playing a different tank. Because that's like what makes him unique, right? A lot of the characters, like if you're relying on his dash for like shielding or for damage reduction, it's like you might as well be playing Mag. If you're relying on like his damage or his frontline damage, you might as well be playing Groot. So it's the slam confirming kills and creating so much space is one, like that is his thing. Oh, we're getting walled off. I think I would have been trying to switch off of Thing already. I don't think there's really that much of a reason to be insisting on playing him here. Yeah, the thing about the Thing is I feel like you only really want to play him in situations where he's like a good pick. He's not a tank that I would really recommend playing as like just a general pick, you know what I mean? Like for example, like Magneto, Doctor Strange, Emma, Groot, a lot of those characters you pick by default, and if they start countering you, that's when you switch off. I think Thing is a little opposite, right? Where you stay off of him until they show that they need something that warrants him, or like you predict that they're going to be playing something that Thing is good into. I think he has a lot more value when you're playing him into a counter, like as a counter pick, rather than just playing him in neutral. Like they don't really have anybody who particularly counters you, but I mean, I guess like you could say like Groot and Bucky kind of do a little bit, but more importantly, they don't have anything that you specifically counter as Thing. Yeah, I think I switch after my ult. Okay, that's I guess fair. I feel like I would have switched like 2 lives ago. But also, even if you're thinking at this moment, you're like, oh, I'll switch after my ult, I think you just switch. Um, Thing's ult is pretty decent, but it's not like, oh, I need to use this. So, for example, like if I'm playing Luna and I want to switch, Uh, Luna's ult, I'll be like, oh, but if I switch off of Luna, we're gonna be down support ult, and that's a big difference, right? But for Things ult, it's like 50% of a Strange or Magneto ult is it's not that much of a loss compared to 100% of a Thing ult if it means that you can switch your character earlier. Um, because like Strange, Magneto, Emma, they all have very powerful ults that even Groot, where if you switch off of Thing, yes, you're losing 50% of your ult charge, but if it means that you get to switch your pick earlier, I think that's a nice price. Because while by staying on Thing for another ult, you're basically staying for another life because you're not gonna ult and then run back to switch, and then by the end of your life you might have 80% and then you're still burning 30. So overall, I just say that unless you have like a legitimately like super important game changing ultimate, and I'm talking support ults, maybe like Magneto ult, stuff like that where it's like you need it, then I wouldn't be afraid to switch off. Even if you have ult 100%, if you need to make the switch, just make it and keep the 50%, in my opinion. Um, and of course, there's some exceptions. Do it at your own discretion, but don't be so attached to keeping that ult because it might just be too late to switch by the time you get to switch. But we do stay here, and it's like it's not like you're doing like poorly, but you could definitely be doing way better on a different character here. And we're looking for it. I mean, we're looking to opening this point up. That was a very good play. Yeah, I really like that jump. I think you did it fast enough that their cloak didn't have any time to react. That was a really good ult. Yeah. I do say that that was really good how you took the initiative of like, oh, I'm gonna use my ult here, and you used your ult and you found a really good opportunity for it. That was like an excellent way of taking space uh and just making a threat real quick. But now they're teleporting, and okay. I okay. We're not gonna talk about that, but um there's no way you were canceling that teleport, so you might as well have just followed the route, because he like you just walked past him, and he was just getting the point. But like at this point, like this fight could have been super won if you were there at the beginning of it. Like it could be over by now. Might have gotten a little too lost in the sauce about it, to be honest. Where you're just like, oh, I could do something here, but you just play by the textbook, and I think you win that. But you're in 95 to ult. So see what I mean? It's like you waited until you used your ult to switch, and then you got your ult again. So you switched with ult anyway. Granted, I know you need portal right now. Like, that's why you switched, but it's one of the things where it's like, in retrospect, like, you could just switch with your ult. I don't know who I was feeling. Yeah, like, that was, like, might have thought you were a Spider-Man angle. But, I mean, it works out. Well, I guess that play particularly didn't work out, but we do recover by switching to Strange and making it work, so that worked out. But to be fair, that was one of those situations where like you just kind of made like you kind of went crazy. I'm not gonna lie, and it's like you can't really like you're not regularly going crazy, so I can't really like judge that. It's just like we kind of overheated. But I think that's like a pretty obvious thing to recognize that like yeah, what the fuck were we doing? But I don't think that's definitive of your gameplay, so I think it's fine. Granted, we don't want to be doing that. When I say I think it's fine, I don't mean that we can like that's acceptable. I mean it's fine as in like I'm not gonna worry about talking about it. In the moment, yeah. Especially when you walk to the side and you were like, oh, you can't go up this side. There was something cooking, surely. Surely there was something cooking. But now we're on Strange. And okay, to be fair, we also had a Wanda this whole time, so like the Strange switch made even more sense in retrospect. Um, but we finally do switch to Strange. I don't know how I feel about rolling out up top unless you had somebody behind you, because like for the most part you should probably be just going with your team because you could protect them. But I mean, it doesn't really make a difference here. This is a really good opportunity for you. They use Disappear. So you could look for an Agamotto after it if you don't know the status of their Cloak and Dagger ult. And now you do know the status of their Cloak and Dagger ult, so as soon as this ends, an Agamotto would just be a team wipe, basically. So you need to survive at all costs. Oh, you could drop here. Yeah, I was going to say, you should be looking for either high ground or looking to drop to your healers. So what happens here? I feel like we should have made a call. I want to see. So they have... Oh, they're using it right now. So this is us against the world, right? At this point, we should just kite this. Yeah, yeah. We shouldn't be trying to fight on top of the us against the world when they have better healer ults than us. Either back up or... I think they had the point at the time, but if they didn't, then die on point. But yeah, you don't have a reason to be here either, to be honest. I mean, granted, you got the kill, but realistically, like having this space right here, like particularly this balcony, could just get you in more trouble than having the space is worth. Because if you die here, like if somehow they flank you, or if like I don't know, Groot walls up to you, Invis pulls you off or something, you're just like you can just die and then you're super staggered. But what do you gain from this position, right? Like you get to hold the space, but is your team gonna all follow and roll out here with you? And does attacking from this angle really make that much sense? Those are just questions you have to ask because there is like potential that you're just taking an unnecessary risk here. You know she has no boop, so you should look for ult. Oh. Yeah, we kind of weren't really coordinated. That's why I think you should have like ran back and made sure you were like with your team. Okay, I like this ult. Nice. Brew can die here too. Nice. Okay. You just destroy him. You probably should have died there, to be honest, but it overall worked out. And now we have to clean up the fight. Get this invis again. You need to weave in your shield more. So I just want to look at this again. So like it's fine you're weaving in melees here, but your goal, you're not hitting this mag, right? So this mag is not your goal. So instead of this last melee, I know this is just like one melee, but like right here, right there. So instead of meleeing, you shield. And why do you do that? So invis, one, doesn't hit you, and two, doesn't heal her mag. You might, even if you are just flickering your shield, there is a decent chance that you block it either on the way out or the way in. So invis especially is important for this, but it'll keep you alive slightly longer. And it's one of those things where you probably won't notice very much in game that when you actually do it, but it will keep you alive longer. Whether it's just blocking one invis ball, whether it's blocking like one this or that, it's gonna randomly just mitigate a little bit of damage here and there, and then you all of a sudden, like at this point, you might have 300 HP instead. What the? Oh, they still have point though. Okay, this shield. I just want to see the mentality behind this. So I want to see what we're looking at. So we know. First of all, we're not looking at the mag. We actually don't know where the mag is right here. We're just like off of voice. So. Okay, so we're guarding our rocket. Okay. I mean, I guess that's fine if you're just guarding your rocket. But I think you should get in the habit of, once you hear the Magneto ult, know exactly where it's coming from. And then know who you can guard. So, I'm going to replay it one more time. Well, now you are looking at him, but I feel like wait, did you look at him? Yeah, you didn't really know where he is. You could see a little bit of the mag ult, but by the time you turn to him, like, he's already about to throw it. Right? So it's like, you need to know who you're protecting and like what your goal is before he's ready to throw it. I Loki thought Invis was behind me. Okay, yeah. You could also, if you know where he is and you're in an opportune spot, you could fly up to him and shield that, because he has to wait for it to charge a little bit before he throws it, unless your team is feeding it to him. So if you're quick on it and you know he's close and you're paying attention to where he starts it, you can just fly up and get in his face and block it like that. Remember saying supports get behind me? Yeah. Just be careful about doing that, because I mean, granted, there is they don't really have people that can break your shield very easily, but they can break your shield and kill your supports behind you, or like that could be an opportunity they use to like wall you off or something. So you don't want to telegraph that hard until he's ready to throw it. I would practice, like, unironically, I think it might be good practice to have a friend get in the range and hold the mag meatball for you and throw it at random times, and you flicker your shield and block it on reaction to him throwing it, rather than just holding it up the entire time until he throws it. Because if you're doing that every single time, where you're just holding your shield up and being like, supports get behind me, eventually you're going to play into like a Punisher who's going to just break your shield before mag even throws the meteor. So I would, if you can, like, get a friend and be like, yo, just do some reps of this where he holds the mag ult and at a random time during the charge throws it at you, and you get used to blocking it on reaction to the throw. That way you have no risk of your shield getting broken during that. Oh, I thought that was her ult for a second. I'm just like, damn, you just murked her. Okay. I don't mind flying up and taking the space. It's forcing him out of here. Oh, I probably would have stayed up there. Jump down when you need to. Because now you can't get back up there without using your fly. What is the Starlord doing? He's living. Okay. Oh, now you get it. Yeah. We kind of overstayed our welcome. Like, you know they have a Groot. You didn't know they had an Emma, but you know they have a Groot. You should expect to not get healing here. Like, this is a choke, but this one wall blocks off all your healing here. You should not be pushing this far past. If you push a little past, it is kind of acceptable, because you're going to back into the wall and know immediately that you're walled. But if you're not paying attention, you push this far past, your healers lose line of sight before you even realize that there's a wall, because you're not looking backwards, right? So as soon as you see Groot or Emma, honestly, either of them, if it was Emma or Groot, either of them, you should be trying to fly over this wall here, like, immediately. But I probably wouldn't be trying to take this position in the first place anyway. If you're gonna take a position aggressively, it should probably be like up here and be ready to fall back. But pushing like ground level too far up. You think you did? Right, let's see. I want to see. So like up here, I think that position was like, okay. This is like kind of gray area. I think you should at closest probably be playing like around this corner right now. Because you know that this teleporter exists and they're all spawning. But now that you have now that your team is here, you're actually a little more okay. Because you know that you have support. But right here, as soon as you see Emma, you gotta be scared. Like literally right here. If she grabs you, you're pretty much dead. They're running Emma Groot. You did... Wait. What happened? Did you just get grabbed out of it? Yeah, you just got grabbed out of it. I think you, yeah, you just pressed it too late. I think you need to do it as soon as you see the Emma / Groot, not when she pops diamond. I kind of like TPing back here, but yeah, no, I love TPing back here. Once 2 more people died, I'm like, yeah, definitely TP play. I need to be more scared of Emma than I ever am, and I pay for it. Yes, Emma is very dangerous. That's her entire thing, is that she just has so much threat. Okay, I thought you were gonna ult, and I was gonna say, please don't. A TP could have saved that, though. It might have been a long shot, but it definitely could. Like, I think it was a TP angle. Okay, 10. This could also be a TP angle. I am personally a big fan of early TPs and domination. This is a good map for it too. But we're AFK and we're flying. So what I would do here, especially because we have like Invis and Emma, like, and we have Agamotto. So what I would do here as a call, and this is me, you don't have to like do this or anything, but this is something I like to do as Strange. I'm portaling here, right? And I'm gonna drag this portal all the way over here. And I'm gonna put it probably in this choke point, and I'm gonna scout around, see like where they're going. And I'm gonna like put it probably like right here. Maybe give or take, right? And I'm gonna just wait for it, and I'm gonna wait for probably the tanks or whoever is first to just pass by, and I'm gonna try and like basically kidnap the healers. So I'm gonna have a portal right here, and I'm gonna look, and I'm gonna like move it. I see them running up. I see Starlord goes past, so they don't have a Starlord. And right, I'm gonna back up a little bit actually, and I'm gonna like back the portal up like here, and I drop it right here. And then their team either runs through it, or my team runs through it and gets behind them. But in this scenario, I'm likely to kidnap like 1 or 2. This group might walk through it, and we just smoke him immediately before they realize what's going on. And if we're lucky, they just pop a healer ult, and then we just reset. Like, they just pop like an invis ult before the point even starts. Something like that. I like doing that in a lot of situations. And also, since you have an invis, you could just pop it right in front of them and then pull them through it. But the reason why I like doing that is because it is, first of all, a lot of times unexpected, and it gives you a pretty advantageous fight because you let part of their team pass, so you're basically 6v like 3 on their backline, and then you can abuse that. And then if you get an early pick on their backline, then you just go through the portal and then fight the point early. Because then it's like you take a 6v3 fight, maybe you get 1 or 2, and then you take the other 6v3 on the other side of the portal, basically. And the reason why I like doing that is because in this specific situation, you have an Emma, you have an Invis, you have a lot of characters that can abuse your positioning. Even Fantastic is pretty good for it. And you have Agamotto up. It's not always the best thing. User is now lurking. I need to fix that command. Thanks for the lurk. Yeah. Granted, I'm not saying that you should be doing this every single time, or like I'm not even saying you should be doing this in this situation, but I think it's something to keep in mind if you have portal up, and you don't need to worry about your portal being on cooldown for like an overtime, because it's only 3-minute cooldown. It's going to be up for the overtime even if you get stomped. Lurk, what that do? It's just to indicate that you're just hanging out without being in chat. But now we're here. I know I just talked about that entire play for like something that's not even happening here. There's the Escan. That's an interesting ult. They don't even cover all the point. Okay. I mean, so what you could be doing here is trying to plan an Agamotto into Scarlet Witch ult combo. Because your Scarlet Witch is about to have ult. You know that their Invis is probably about to have ult or has it. So when they pop it, you can combo those. That way they can't get out of it. That's potential. Because your Agamotto is not going to get much value. Although, you also have Rocket ult. That's worth noting. Granted, I think he just used it. Or is it... Oh no, he just got it. Okay. That's also a thing to note. Rocket ult, damage boosting, Strange, Agamotto plus Burst will one-shot. It should one-shot Invis. Yeah. Yeah, it'll one-shot Invis through her ult. So, people won't expect that combo, but you have to make sure you have full bar. They pop Invis ult, you Agamotto everybody in it, and then Rocket pops his ult, and then you burst and kill them all. Gonna go look at your VOD, have a good stream. Yo, sounds good. Hope you enjoy it. There's our Rocket ult, and we did not really plan this, right? So, like, this would be a really good Agamotto. Like, if you just Agamotto this and burst him with the damage boost, but it's also not a very well-placed Rocket ult. Okay. This Wanda ult can get value. She got one. Like it says control lost, but we're on the winning team. Okay. I would probably be looking to like get closer to choke point. So this is one of those situations where I do think you should be pushing up further. The likelihood of somebody flanking around here is pretty low. But even if it did happen, the distance to run back is not that bad. So like as Strange, you benefit from being pretty close up. So you could be playing around like this cover even. You could be playing around this cover, which is a little riskier. You could be playing around here even. But you should not be like, look at our order of our team realistically, right? Like our order of contact. We have Strange in front. He's the first one who's going to take damage. He's the first one the enemies see. He's the first one that, you know, fire will stop at. They can't shoot through him a lot of the times. Not every character. And then we have Wanda behind Strange, or behind Fantastic. So we have Wanda and Invis are pretty close behind her, or Fantastic. Then we have Emma and Strange in our backline. So, and then we have Rocket somewhere. But Rocket can kind of take wild positions because he can heal from really far range and like a bunch of angles. But look at our organization, right? Like this doesn't look proper. We have DPS, healer, tank, healer. So our Rocket's really the only one in a decent position. Our Fantastic can kind of get away with this, but probably only if one of the tanks is up here with him. So we need to be reorganizing here. And that's what we're doing, which is good. But see how close we let them get to this choke point? We could be up here at this line and then force them to make us back up instead of giving them that space for free. So you could be a little more aggressive here, try and get some damage, maybe threaten an Agamotto, because, I mean, they know you have it up by now. So they're going to have to play a little differently and be ready to fly if Groot walls you, right? But we're backing up way too far here. Like, again, we have so many people in front of us. Our organization is a little off here. We should have aura. Oh, that's such a juicy Agamotto. I don't think it's your job to be fighting this guy. I think you need to be holding the line. And you also, I think, missed a health pack. And look where this Emma is, right? This is what I'm talking about. Look at their Emma and how she's taking like a little bit more of an aggressive position. But I mean, if we're lucky, or if she's lucky, she'll know when to fall back, right? So she's taking this aggressive position. She even gets pushed out of place. She pops her diamond and she gets back. But even that, it required like you had to take a pull. You had to, you know, fight her out of it. And that even though it didn't, like, she wasn't very effective with it, and she overall she actually lost that exchange because she had to burn diamond for an invisible. But the idea behind it is fine. She didn't fight until she died there, and she didn't let herself get picked. But she demanded you guys to use some resources or some coordination or something. You had to do something to get her out of that position. And she didn't die for it. So overall, that's like the mentality you want to kind of have, is you want to take as much space as you can, as long as you know you'll be safe and be able to fall back. I will say, I think we're holding on to this Agamotto way too long. Oh, okay, double healer ult. We could definitely be coordinating this way better. So you have so many combos on your team, right? So they have healer ults. If you go into the healer ult and Agamotto them, and then your Scarlet Witch pops ult, or you probably do it a little different based on the timing. But if like she pops ult and you immediately Agamotto, it might line up. I don't really know the timing on it, but realistically, you put them in a position where, for example, Cloak and Dagger, they might cloak the Agamotto, which, I mean, they kind of have to, right? Because if they don't, then they die to the Wanda ult, because they're stunned, or they get stunned by it. But if they cloak the Agamotto, the Wanda ult probably pops them because they don't have a cloak for the Wanda ult. So you could be comboing that. You could also combo the Agamotto with the Rocket ult, which usually you'd probably want to do after they use a support ult. So like they Cloak and Dagger ult, you go in with the Agamotto on the Cloak and Dagger. Make sure you hit the Cloak and Dagger with the Agamotto with full charge. You rocket damage boost and you pop them one shot. Okay, that was a great ult. I feel like you're holding, like, you probably on. Okay, I want to know how long you had this ult, because I feel like you unironically could have farmed another ult if you used it like in a previously good scenario. Like, you've been holding this ult this entire round, so like you definitely could have. So you did have a really good ult here, but you could have had, like, that could have been your second good ult. But it was good. It was a good ult. I'm not gonna take that away from you. Can I just talk about how, okay, this is a side note, just complete side note, completely unrelated to the VOD. I find this so funny when you watch controller players, when they do this. Like, I know that you're playing with one hand right now. Like, you're looking at your phone right now, you're just moving your left joystick. I just find that so funny. Okay. Again, I think you're playing a little too scared. I think, okay, so your Emma and you should probably be in opposite positions, because your Emma can peel your backline better than you, and you can hold the front line better than her. And also you can cut healing if they walk in and just, like, say this Emma takes a lot of damage, you can cut her healing so your team can kill her. You guys get flanked a little bit, but I mean, we'll see how that goes. Your team gets Groot ulted. Oh, you could have popped him. Um, I don't know if you just weren't expecting it, but you should get used to that combo of um, just build that familiarity of when you can press the right bumper. Because like right here, you should get used to this uh, left click melee burst. Like right there, immediately burst. Like as soon as that melee hits, you burst. He's dead. You actually probably could have even bursted a little earlier because you would have overkilled him. You could have bursted like before you did that, or you didn't even need a melee. Um, okay, I'm portaling. Okay, disappear. Be careful about anti-healing yourself. Okay, we're shielding good. Yeah, if you're in an extended fight, especially if you're like in a healer ult fight, um, try not to do too much damage because you will anti-heal yourself in the middle of healer ult fight. Oh, okay. Um, okay. I think you push up. So yeah, either direction you look for it, like you shouldn't be sitting on point. You want to be close enough that you can fall back to it, but don't just sit like on point, especially as the tank. Like you are the best person on your team for creating space by walking up, and as long as you're in line of sight of your healers and like range, if it's like invis, um, you don't really have that much risk. Like if you're getting pocket healed, you are not going to die for the most part, right? So keep that in mind where you can walk up. So let me go back a little bit. So where would be a good position for this, like to start this fight, right? So like look where you are. You are literally in the center of point and they're already running to point, right? So where you could be is maybe in this tunnel, like sort of like where Emma was, because now you have eyes on here. If they come up here, you can fight them here, and you actually don't lose line of sight of your healers because you just back up to the ledge. And if they start going around, then you get high ground on them. And that's like an excellent place for an Agamotto drop. So instead of being the furthest one back on point, you are in the deepest part of point right now. Um, let your healers take a better, safer position further away. So your Rocket's in a great position. Maybe not great, but he's in a good position where he is relatively safe right now, and he's got good line of sights of pretty much the entire team. Not like perfect, but he's in a pretty smart position compared to a lot of the other people on your team, including you. You can play a little more aggressively as the Vanguard. You can take that space and make sure that you have the support. You don't want to like obviously you don't want to like push up here and be like, oh yeah, like surely I'm taking space because you're gonna die. But if you're right here and your invis is looking at you, your rocket has line of sight of you, you're not gonna die. Unless they Iron Man ult you or something. But it's unlikely that you die in this situation if you just take a little more space. It's not even risky. It's just a little more aggressive, but there's no risk or very little risk. But I think that's kind of a common thing. So let me exit. So I think there's a very clear theme in your gameplay on specifically Strange, but I think both your thing and your Strange gameplay has very clear themes of what you need to focus on to improve, to be honest. Um so first of all, thing, I'm going to just lay it out there. I don't think Thing is a very good neutral pick. I think he is a good counter pick in the right situations, and in neutral you might as well play a different character. Um but if you do play him, if you enjoy playing him, or when you do play him as a counterpick, which I will say I would be interested in seeing you play Thing in a situation where he is more apt, where they do have like that Black Panther or that Spider-Man or something that's bothering your backline, um, and you need to shut them down. I think it would be better to see a game of you playing Thing when Thing is needed, because then you can see what you're supposed to be doing on like the character himself, right? This game, when you were playing Thing, you were kind of just doing whatever. Like you didn't really have a specific job to do as Thing. You were basically just doing the same thing that any of the other Vanguards could do, or not any, but most of the other Vanguards kind of like you're basically just doing the same thing that like Strange and Magneto kind of do, but just kind of worse for the most part. Um, so that's one thing. When Thing isn't like super warranted, he doesn't really feel as impactful alone, like as well. Like he's just not fully there when other tanks can just be fully there at all times, right? So I would be interested in seeing you play Thing in another game where they do have a problem character that you're trying to deal with when you are forced to peel for your backline and position differently. Because I think Thing has some difficulty to playing properly in a game where he is warranted. In a game like this, it didn't really feel like he was warranted so much. So it's hard to judge like how well you actually played him. Um, just because like you didn't really have a specific job that only you could do. As far as the Strange gameplay, I think the big thing I'm noticing, is it seems like you are afraid to use your abilities. And I think this is a very common thing for Strange players, especially with Portal and his ult. And I think those were the two biggest things, right? Um, so Strange specifically, I think that a lot of times using your portal freely can give you a better fight. You get to choose more opportune positions that maybe your whole team wouldn't be able to get to. So portaling to a high ground, portaling to kidnap on a domination point, portaling to get a good fight, and maybe they're pushed up to that choke point. The thing about Strange is that if they push up to that choke point and take space, you might portal past them, and then all of a sudden you're flipping the fight. You're fighting from point, and they're fighting backwards, so they're fighting for point now. Um, so situations like that is one of the reasons why Strange is very strong. And Strange gets a lot of value from making those types of plays, from making those portal plays, from making those Agamotto plays, and taking that space properly. So Strange gets a lot of value from doing that, and I think that's what makes Strange very valuable in general. I think if you're looking for a more generically just like good neutral character, a lot of times my go-to is going to be Magneto, Emma, or Groot. Even Groot kind of makes plays, so it's more Magneto, Emma feel like more of the neutral characters where you just play fine all the time, hold your stuff for the right moment. Um, Whereas Strange, you kind of need to make some of those plays. Like you hit those juicy Agamottos, you get those combos with like the rocket ults or the Luna damage boosts, or you Agamotto like just at the right time. Um, Strange can really make those huge plays, and that's one of the things that makes a good Strange good. Um, Another thing is taking proper space. You don't want to be last in line of Strange. Is a time where you want to be like on top of your healers and peeling for them and helping them out, but your general position as Strange is generally going to be somewhere in the front, whether it's first in line, second in line, maybe third if you have like a diving duelist or something. But for the most part, you want to be in front because Strange benefits a lot from being close. His burst can farm his ult charge very quickly. He's tanky. You have a decent escape by flying out. You can fly out, hold your shield downward. And also something that I feel like gets overlooked a lot by Strange players is that he is the best tank for cutting heals. If they have someone like a Thing or a Cap or a Thor, a lot of the times you can just secure a kill and use your shield like a Groot wall. You just walk past them, throw your shield up, they get no healing, and they're probably expecting healing because they're just like in front of their healers. Like it's very likely that they're just expecting to get pocket healed as they run in. And if you just throw your shield up in between them and their healers, your team might just be able to kill them in like 1 second flat. So with that being said, I think being in front makes a lot of sense as Strange, more than just him being a Vanguard. He has a lot of tools that make him very important for being in between the enemy front line and back line. He does a lot of burst damage that can just pop healers, pop DPSs. Like he just has a lot of value that I feel like you weren't fully realizing because you were playing too far back. I think those are the big things that I was noticing. Like you held your Agamotto for like 2 whole fights. Like your rocket dropped 2 ults before you Agamotto'd once, right? You didn't portal until the very last second when you needed it, and I think that's a very common trap that a lot of Strange players fall into, where they like the portal's just not in their mind. Like it's just not an ability until overtime. That's literally the only time people will portal. I think that is a waste of potential. I think you should plan for the overtime portal if you think you might need it, but a lot of the times, why not just don't let them get to overtime by taking better fights, because portal fights sometimes are really heavily in your favor. Um, like a lot of times rolling out normally just meeting in main is like a 50-50. Granted, there's obviously like, you know, ult advantage and comp advantage and all that, but like it's basically a 50-50. A lot of portal fights, if you get a good portal, can just be like 80% win rate. Like if you just play it correctly, the portal can just win you fights really easily. Um, so yeah, I would be looking into doing more of that if you can. And it's something that takes a lot of practice. I literally like I played Strange like every game for like, you know, a few days straight. Like I pretty much played Strange every game, and I used Portal on cooldown. Not because like I thought it was optimal, but because I wanted to practice getting good portal positioning. And now like sometimes I still like have whiffs or, you know, duds where like we just get smoked through the portal and it was just a bad portal. But very frequently people are like, "Oh, that was a crazy portal," just because like I practice it and I can get that value. And I still generally have portal in the overtime, because if you use it at the start of the round, it's really like it's going to be there for your overtime if you're playing the game. All that to just say, use your abilities more. Don't be afraid to use your cooldowns. They just buffed his ability to fly by 3 seconds, so you have a way more frequent escape. Don't be afraid to use that if you start taking some pressure. Um, there's a reason why flyers like, you know, Torch and Storm have a big advantage, because, you know, you can cut line of sight on a third dimension, as well as just being able to get away. The jump goes you a decent distance, so there's a lot of potential that you can kind of get creative with Strange. But don't be afraid to use his abilities. I think that's like the number one takeaway. Don't be afraid to uh, use his portal. Don't be afraid to use his ult. Obviously, you know, think about it, but you don't need to hold it for like the perfect time. Sometimes like solo ulting a Luna that has ult up, or who's about to have ult up, is all you need to do to win the game. Um, yeah, I think making a lot of small plays is gonna do you better than trying to make a few really big plays, because those big plays might not need to happen if you just snowball the game. Also, get used to its combo. Um, so there's a little thing. So this is I didn't really notice this being like a too big of a problem, but something, if you're going to play a lot of Strange, you should get used to doing, um, is weaving your abilities. And you do it a lot with your melee specifically, but you should get used to doing this, right? You should get used to doing this. Oh, wrong button. Doing this and just flickering this, because this will eat a lot of projectiles. And even though you're not a, and also if you jump with it, you carry momentum. So normally if you sort of slow down, right? But if you do this, you carry the momentum with your jump. So jumping before you shield will help. You don't always have to do it, because it's like kind of a really small slowdown if you're just flickering it. But yeah, you do walk slower with your shield out. But if you jump beforehand, you keep the momentum until you land. But that as well, where you burst on combo, But something to pay attention to as Strange a lot is your shield's regeneration. So your shield has a lot of value from having health. If you're just constantly like holding up shield like this and walking back, like walking back and forth and not flickering or anything or letting it regen, then you're not gonna have it when you need it. It's got 800 HP, so sometimes I will be like doing stuff like this, right? Where I'll be flickering my shield and I'm like blocking a lot of damage, and I notice I'm like, oh, my shield's at like 200 HP, so I've got to either take cover and let it, regenerate a little bit, or I have to start weaving differently, um, or just paying attention to your shield strength, because sometimes you need it more than others. So like if they have a Hela and you notice she hasn't ulted in a while, you probably want to keep your shield pretty healthy, or like Star Lord, or if they have a big ult that you need a block, you need to make sure you have a decent amount of shield. Like, don't underestimate how much damage can just come out of nowhere. Because if you have like 50 shield, for example, like 50, but you can still pull it up, and you're like, okay, I'll just block this mag bubble or this mag meteor with 50 shield. You might just get poked by like something random, and it might break your shield like as you flicker it, and you definitely do not want to have that situation happen. So I'd get used to managing your shield's health, as well as weaving not only your melee but your shield flickering, and that just kind of makes your gameplay feel a lot more fluid, because then you have a lot more like just random defense. Like it's hard to notice the impact um for each isolated instance, because obviously you're flickering your shield quite a bit, but if you do it a lot and then you go back to not doing it at all, you will notice that you're dying significantly faster. Like if you never flicker your shield like this and just only melee cancel, you will notice that you're taking way more damage than by flickering your shield. And also your team, it slows down the damage they take as well, so it's easier for your healers to catch up on heals. So remember that your shield is a resource, is basically the takeaway, right? If your shield is at full HP and you're just letting it stay at full HP the entire game until you want to just hold it forever, then you're really missing out on blocking a lot of damage for your team. But overall, like, you did very well. You had a lot of big Agamottos. Like, you were doing your melee cancels. Like, you were doing a lot of damage. Like, overall, good game. All right, I think that's gonna call it for me though. So we're 3:45 basically. Almost 4 hours, which is still pretty short for doing 3 VODs. That was a pretty short stream. Let me mark this as completed. There we go. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching and following all that jazz. Join the Discord if you are not already in it. We just recently, by we, I mean I just made the spreadsheet of all of these VOD reviews, like all the logs, public, so you should be able to look at any VOD reviews I've done since like the beginning of August. Basically, I take decent notes, not like crazy detailed, but I basically just summarize what I talked about and like talking points on each VOD, and I will do that for the VODs I did today as well as the VOD of this video. This entire VOD of the stream should be uploaded to YouTube and timestamped, and added to that spreadsheet as well in case you want to refer back to it. And I'm going to do that for every future VOD or a VOD review that I do. So yeah, so if you want to add a submission, or if you have any suggestions to improve the channel or the Discord or anything like that, or if you just want to hang out, play with people, or have fun and talk, then join the Discord, this show. Other than that, I think that's gonna be it for me. I appreciate everybody for watching, following, all that jazz. You guys are great. I will try my best to stream more. We'll see where life takes me, but I'm gonna try my best. But I'll see y'all later.